Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 95. 95. God, I think I didn't edit the last video, that's why I lost count. Did I edit the last video? I got no idea. Damn it. Anyways, we are here. We are back. We are playing DnD. I don't know what is a funny voice. Today is a dreary and tired day for I think most of us, but we'll power through. I think once the game starts rolling, we'll receive our necessary energy boost. I will definitely stumble more over my words than I usually do. But that's totally fine. Not much to say other than next week there will be no episode. We will be skipping a week, and after that I think actually Skitty will also be finished moving by then, right? In 2 weeks.
Yes, I'm finishing moving tomorrow, so this background is the last time we see it. It's gonna change all up next week, next session.
Yep, so everyone can say goodbye to the backgrounds. Yeah, but I guess then you'll just be busy unpacking, which we haven't even fully finished yet, and it's been like 2 months. But most of it is out. So yeah, so there's a minor break in our very, very consistent schedule that is definitely not filled with holes. But more importantly, the question of the day for today is, once again, I have not put any thought into this prior to when I'm reminded that I do this. But I think, well, no, I asked that last time. I guess you guys are waiting for a high storm. That's been on your guys's to-do list since last time you almost went out without waiting and might have been caught in. You do not know when the high storm is coming, so I guess how many days do you think do you still have to wait out until it comes?
I'm Greg, and I'm playing Ira Expander, the human artifighter. I think it's probably 2 days.
Wow, yeah, easy and simple, man.
That's easy question. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm playing Fiera, the wizard. A day and 18 hours.
Wow.
Oh, and 3 minutes, 47 seconds.
Oh, actually, I have a list here with a timer. No.
I know. Yep. Yep, that's it.
Hi, I'm Skit. I play Isara Leafina, the druid cleric, and I say 40 hours, 17 minutes, and 55 seconds. So a little under 2 days.
All right, 2 hours less than Fiera. Okay.
My name is Felicia. I'm playing Jade Nightlock, your favorite padlock. I'm gonna say it's in like, I don't remember what time of day it is. So we're just gonna say it's like 12 hours from whatever it is now.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Because I remember last time we ended, it said we could see the clouds starting.
Yes. Because I also just got reminded that actually last session ended with you guys seeing the ice storm. So it was actually a question who remembered, and Felicia, you're the only one, so you get an inspiration. You know what?
Oh, exciting.
Props to you.
Nice.
Props to you. Because you're spot on. That's the first question I answer before I actually play the intro. Anyways, with that out of the way, we'll just roll the intro and then start playing. The blood that was spilled, it soaked within the earth. It dried and will be forgotten. Depraved maniacs who wished nothing more than to dream of what could be. They were a necessary alliance to get what we needed. A little bit of time. Though their meager efforts were even worse than anticipated. This is why we do not trust foreign powers, my liege. Faith wanes. It is highly unreliable. We do not worship. We study. We do not pray. We calculate. We do not hope. We act. With this device, the doors that it will open for us, the potential which it will unlock, it will be a turning point in our scientific history. The blueprints deciphered from the remnants of the forges of war. These are the only scriptures we need. No alliance, no faction nor nation is strong enough to stop the engines of destruction which we have built. All it took was a little more time. Glory will be brought to us, and we shall reign indisputably over the entire continent. No legions, no battalions, no military will be able to stand in our way. No demon nor angel will have the power to stop us. We shall reign as true rulers. Thine royalty, it befits the crown to rule all. Distant are the reliance on the so-called light. We shall show them what light is, and we shall show them what true freedom and supremacy looks like. My king and dearest queen, thine throne befits nothing less than power, and I, your humble scientist, shall give you the power it deserves. Wow, perfect timing. My assistant just got disconnected. Anyways, gonna start us off with a quick recap. As per usual, you guys have been spending the better part of your last few days after you did your very successful speech to the people of Azathia and Canaan within the city of Corvali, the home place of Israel and the well, I wouldn't say long dead Aria, but deceased friend of this party. Wow, that really sounded bad. I should never do a obituary for anyone. Anyways, you guys have been, interested in buying some magical items and have done so, and we're trying to gear up towards the next step of your journey and or adventure, which is the caravan ravine, as you believe that there are some ties of jade connected there that might reveal something. You aren't quite sure, but she's been receiving calls from, well, one might say a nightmare of hers that has been kind of traumatizing her since the day of a very unfortunate event in her past. And since this has occurred, it was kind of one of your goals to return there to further investigate why she's being called there. And while you did so, you kind of went to Isurel's house, saw that it was abandoned, and then also discovered that through visiting the parents' house of Arya, that his brother was there now alone, Seric, and that their parents were imprisoned for kind of being correlated and or related in some of the doings of Duke Kronberg, who obviously now has turned out to be a not only corrupt politician and or journalist, but was heavily involved with the doings of the Holy Blood Legion, and one of the main contributors who allowed them to even get this far. And it seems like the parents were, in some league with them, and it was kind of Isur's mission to try and clear or get a better understanding what has happened. That's why you went on to confront Arya's dad and managed to convince the captain of the guards to allow you entrance to actually talk with him, even though he's currently under interrogation. With natural 20, you can't get by anywhere. And there you discovered that he's really in a bad spot, since he was somewhat manipulated by Kronberg. And he was told that you, Isurel, and your father were kind of trying to use Arya as blackmail, and that in the end you were the ones responsible for her death. And that kind of motivated him out of fear, out of panic, and just out of very emotional happenstance to do things he probably wouldn't have under normal conditions. And, you kind of all gathered your bearings, now equipped, found a couple of things out. Not much you can do right now to help them. And so you kind of just put a pause on that. And the last thing that happened was, as you saw cresting at the horizon up from the north, the shifting hues and colors of the high storm itself slowly making its way towards where you are, Isurel, you went ahead to talk with none other than the tree of Kovali itself, the name of which you have then also learned, which is of course Kolvorn, the bringer of fall. And as you communicated with him, you saw a vision of a large forest, lush forest, with unnatural trees that grow very dense, but you were kind of flown out further, and as you flew, you felt heat radiating towards you, and the lush forest then turned into more like a gravesite. Burnt bark, black tree stumps, and a charred ground was all that's left, and the lush forest kind of edging this burnt landscape. And every now and again, some of the trees in the lush forest would just spontaneously combust into flames, kind of chipping away at this lush forest. And that's kind of where you're going to pick up again as you see this vision, and you kind of told Kolvorn that you will never stop until this has stopped, the vision that you're seeing. And it would be at that same moment where you're kind of ejected from your connection, almost feeling like both you and Kolvorn had said their parts. And as you open your eyes again, you are in front of the tree's large base that sits in the middle of the castle of Kovali, the kind of very bright orangish hued leaves are falling down with the wind that is now slowly picking up, and you are left with a feeling of hope, but at the same time kind of despair of the vision that you saw. What do you wish to do? Skip?
Did I go alone or had my friends come with me? I think I went alone, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you went alone.
Yeah. Alright. I'll just go home then and start thinking a little bit about what Kovan told me and what he showed me, and just start trying to make a plan in my head and just think over that as I walk back home.
As you walk back home, you can make a perception check.
Wrong window. Perception. Not bad.
Wow, a dirty 20. As you are walking back, and you know, you're kind of in your thoughts, you occasionally look back at the tree and kind of contemplate what you've been seeing. You look out, you see the other trees and lush forest that kind of expands behind the walls of Corvalli, and you can see like almost, you know, this army of clouds rushing towards you, though it is still very much distant from where you are and will take probably several hours before it reaches you. But it's like starting to get evening, and you just instinctively look up to the sky where you can see the astral vestige that has now started to appear as the sun is slowly descending down and kind of kissing the horizon at that point of time. And you notice that, you know, the astral vestige is kind of like this glass orb is the best way I can describe it, where the hues kind of shift depending from which angle you look at it and where the sun is. It's just kind of how it functions. But now that you're looking at it, it seems as if the colors and hues now more actively are shifting and changing, and unrelated to where you are standing or how you are looking at it. Similar to when you have like these hollow things that have like a hollow coating or varnish on it, or like a glass bulb that has like these rainbow refractions. If you like move, you can see how the rainbow colors change. Now it's doing it on itself. Imagine you're just holding this glass and then suddenly you see shifting colors within this glass orb, which is what you're witnessing right now. And as you're witnessing that, it feels strange, and you kind of think maybe that your eyes are, you know, playing tricks on you. But it's almost as if, as you're looking at these very bright, vibrant orange leaves kind of blow past you, and as they're blowing past you, it almost looks like as if they lose in saturation, as if the further down they fall, they kind of lose color, but like a very minuscule amount where it just catches you off guard that you even notice that. And you kind of take one off or catch one of the leaves that is falling down and just looking at it. And it isn't withering or anything. The leaves themselves stay intact the way they are. It just seems like they're just losing color. And as you look in the surrounding and the environment, everything seems to be losing color. The houses, the grass, roof, tops, walls, everything just kind of gets slightly desaturated. The only reason why you notice it with the leaves is because they are so vibrant that it's the most notable there. But as you're paying more attention to the rest, It's almost like the saturation slide of the world has been dropped a tiny bit. And that gives you a almost ominous and odd feeling, but you don't really know why that's the case.
I'll keep the leaf with me as I keep walking towards home, and I'll try to, from time to time, like check back on it and see like if it seems like it keeps losing some of that color, or it just kind of lost a little bit of color and it's now stuck in this like desaturated color that it has now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you come back in history.
As I keep
Yeah, come back
history.
Yeah, history check. Just kind of walking down, looking at the sleeve, and just keeping it.
Okay then.
Wow, doing 20 to doing 20. Yeah, the reason why it is so, or why you've become so aware of it is obviously you grew up here. You remember the leaves of this tree, and it doesn't feel like it's like, desaturating at a very noticeable degree. It's like very minor, and you now remember one of the reasons why you are even picking up on this is because this desaturation you're comparing to how you remember these leaves. You grew up here. Every day you went out, you saw these orangish leaves, and they used to be way more colorful. And obviously it could just be the trick of the mind. Obviously when you're a child or a teenager, your memory functions a bit differently, but you swear that it is definitely less colorful than what it used to be. And it's definitely not a seasonal thing, because this tree just has these vibrant orange colors all year round. Doesn't matter, even when it's winter and snows. And that is why you kind of picked up on it. And you're not quite sure if like people who aren't aware how colorful these leaves were 100 years ago will be able to pick up on this, but you definitely can, because you can make this comparison from 100 years ago. And that kind of coincides with what your mentor taught you, that it's a slow decay that is happening, and you can see sort of a relation there as kind of his words once again simmer through your mind as you're noticing this shift.
I'll keep that in mind as I get home.
Yeah, and after a while, obviously, you get back home, and since you all probably, would you share a room? Well, your manor, the Athena's manor is big enough to, has enough spare rooms, but I don't know how you would.
I would have let my friends have their own rooms for a night or two.
Yeah.
Just so that we can all just have our... And I would definitely be in my own room.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Then you get back home, go to your room. Then I would say, Ike and Fiera, anything you're doing this special evening? At this point, you both would have also noticed that the high storm is slowly approaching.
I guess I could start. I have two things. I'm gonna cast Sending. I'm gonna send it to the other elven figure that was at the speech, that was all dressed up next to Zephyrus. We never had introductions, but I'm hoping it's COVID. I don't think we ever got that confirmed, but that's my hunch. So I'm going to send a message to him. I was going to say, greetings. I'd love a proper meeting someday. The ravine requires my current attention. His storm will end, and a different one will begin. Fear.
Yep, the message sends out, but you don't get a response. And you're not sure whether or not he even got the message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then I'll do my last thing. Oh boy. So I'm gonna look at my glove, the pendant inside of it. I've used it quite a few times now. I've decided to use it one more time. And just in the moment, I'm going to will time to freeze. And as things slow down and sound stops and the world is, aside from myself, just waiting, I'm just going to start talking out loud. Kind of looking for those eyes that, watch me for a time in my trial. Or someone else's. They'll just say, I've taken your lessons to heart. I appreciate the help with this pendant. I won't cling to the loss of its power. Instead, I'll trust in my own and trust in the path I'm on. I'm going to learn from it, my mistakes, instead of undoing them. So thank you, Time Lord. And I'll just watch the glove as that's the last charge.
Indeed, you watch as it spins once again, and the world around you turns into this monotone grey picture of a now still city that is motionless. A power that can even hold a high storm for several of seconds. And as that happens, and you kind of, merge into this weird space where time doesn't flow for these couple of seconds where you activate it, there's this creeping loneliness that kind of washes over you, a loneliness that reminds you of the time where you were alone for 8 years. And there's a tiny bit of natural fear of, time itself, the vastness of it, that kind of creeps over you, but also a confidence that you kind of letting go of borrowed power, letting go of an influence that you do not fully understand yet. And the confidence grows because you're now taking actions into your own hand. And as you are in this very still moment, you can feel as like wind picks up around your feet, almost like a small dust tornado whirling around you. And as it's, kind of shifting up your entire body, it almost feels like it's going to pick you up. And as it does so, you can kind of feel you very naturally, almost like you regaining like a noble posture. Your head lifts up, your shoulders get drawn back a bit. It's almost like you're looking down on everything else. Before you kind of see like black and white flashes, as if someone's like very rapidly is holding like a flashlight in front of you, and you're blinded once with heavy light, and then with complete darkness, and then heavy light and complete darkness, back to back to back to back to back to get, and it almost feels like you're going to get this seizure just from getting overwhelmed by
Yep.
overbearing senses, and then not having enough senses before you just blink back into normal existence. the forest is right in front of you, or the city. You can hear the sounds again, and the high storm is approaching. You know what that means, but as you kind of look at your pendant again, it is unmoving now.
Okay. I guess I could keep. I could keep wearing it. Gloves are handy. Okay. Yeah. That's it.
All right. Then I guess, is there anything you would do, Arik?
Probably just, cozy up in my room that Iserel gives me, and I won't go out unless anybody actually comes and gets me. Just kind of trying to decompress and relax, kind of get myself back to stable sort of heartbeat and thought process and everything. And I'm just gonna start slowly drawing just what I remember of what Velina looked like from when I saw her in the crowd. Just trying to get my focus back and try to activate my memory and just try to, because it's starting to occur to me that that's probably going to come into play a lot now. So I was wondering how long it would take for her to find me again.
Yeah, I guess make a history check. Seven. Yeah, it's been a long time since you last saw her. So obviously your memory of her definitely faded in that time, and though you probably, on occasion had replayed the debate you both had about, the topics, stuff like that. Just with time, naturally, the image of her fades into like a blurry mess. Now that you see her again, it's like almost, you're like second guessing yourself whether or not it was actually her. It's just, a part of your, brain that recognizes patterns is something that tells you it was her, but you can't confirm with an image you have in your own mind. And the one thing you do notice, and that's why your memory is a bit janky at this point, whether or not it was her, because the figure in the crowd, though, has the same hair color and somewhat similar facial structures, obviously looking a lot more mature than you remember her. The one in the crowd had a rather large skin discoloration on her right side of her cheek, and she definitely didn't have that when you last saw her. So that's the one thing that's like making you second guess whether or not it was her.
Now, I know it's been like a second since we were doing the speech and I saw her, but what I saw, does that look exactly or in any way like the Velina that I saw in my psychotic one-shot episode there during the high storm?
Yeah, you can make a history check. Wow. As you kind of remember back to that point, it seems like you're still uncertain what the nature of that weird set of dreams was, whether or not they were grounded in reality or just fragments of your imagination. One thing you clearly remember there is she didn't have that skin discoloration in your episodes that you were having. So yeah. And in your episode that you were having, she very much so still looked like the person that is kind of blurring your memory. Still young, you know, the way you left her, not matured in any way. So you get the sense that whatever caused you to have that was like siphoning your memory to create whatever you saw there, and wasn't a one-to-one image of what is actually going on in the world.
Okay. Yeah. Just kind of keep to myself. If anyone comes looking for me, they'll find me, but that's about it.
Yeah. Say probably as it's, you know, hitting evening, and I assume you'll most likely have dinner together, is where you all kind of gather back to each other, as reclusive as you are. And probably Jade is the one cooking. You have a very nice kitchen available. And it's last day before the, or well, it is the day of the high storm. It's getting pretty dark. The sun has set at this point, where you all, you know, went back to the house for, you know, either, you know, you don't have anything better to do, or because you don't want to be outside when the high storm hits. And you can at this point also feel temperatures dropped quite a bit. The wind now also has picked up drastically, and you can also start to hear the faint sounds of rumbling thunder and lightning crackling through the wall of rain that is the high storm.
What are we eating, Jade?
We're making mango sticky rice.
Ooh.
I just had it the other day and it sounds good.
Oh, okay.
All right.
It's so yummy.
I don't know if I've had that. Sounds good though.
There's like little like petals, like mango like design on the bowl.
Okay.
Maybe you should have taken Zephagus's offer and retired.
How does it cook?
No. I'd go crazy. I can't sit in one spot for very long.
Fair point. Well, we've got the high storm to wait through. Do we have any plans for while that happens? Are we... Anybody testing new things?
Not during a high storm.
Heuser, question.
That's new. Yes.
Your scrying, does it just have to be a person or can it be a place?
Scrying. You can see and hear a creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you, so it has to be someone.
No, you can also do a place. If you go further down.
Oh, you can target a location you have seen.
Oh,
Okay,
that makes it tough.
but technically it's possible.
But it says you had to have seen it. If I showed you like a drawing of the place, would that
That would
classify
that would
as you've
help.
seen it?
That would help. It could still fail, but that would help.
Because of what I'm thinking, because is it just you that sees the image, or would other people looking be able to see it too? I don't know how this particular type of magic works.
I do it in my bowl of holy water. So if I put it at a certain distance, if you're looking over my shoulder, you're also able to see it.
Because I was thinking about this and how Fiera can't teleport us to somewhere unless she's seen it, but she would see it in the scrying.
There's
A
a
roundabout
lot of
way.
risk with that. I'd still prefer to get us close rather than try to find a pin in a ravine miles long.
Fair. But I still want you to try to scry it, Izra, because it would give us an insight of what's going on
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
in my home.
It
And I
could
know it
help
help-
prepare.
And I know it also helps if you have something from that place, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So I have a holy symbol, like from my home. Would that work?
That could help. That could definitely help. Like I said, it's not foolproof. It could fail because I have not technically seen it. It's kind of like if I was asked to scry on Irik's parents. I've never seen them technically, but if he was to describe them to me and all that, I could try. It could possibly work, or I could just fail and not reach them. But it's just like that. If you were to describe me the area that you're trying to look, if you were to like draw me a scene from your village, or like a very particular area that you have that you would like, that you think would be interesting to see, that could definitely help me focus on that spot. It's not 100%. Even when I scry on Kronberg, it could fail. It's not foolproof. It's not 100%. But the more I know of the person or the place, the better it is. The better the chances are.
Okay. Because in my journal, I've got numerous paintings of like where I was from. Even if it fails, like I think it would still be kind of useful to try.
Mm-hmm. You haven't been there in quite a while as well, so it would be useful to just see the state of things before we actually get there. Even if it's not necessarily useful for Fiera, at least the element of surprise would be reduced a little bit.
And that's another thing I'm thinking is like, I could be walking us into a trap unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And having some sort of like being able to see it, even just a fraction, could help with like the level of shock, like you were saying, the element of surprise.
Yeah.
it would be nice to know what we're getting into.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely like to try to do that at some point before we go.
Yep, we can absolutely do that. I would be very happy to give it a try. Yeah, for sure.
And obviously whoever wants to observe is more than welcome to.
That would be a reason why I would do some open scrying there to make sure that everyone could see.
Okay, so are you attempting this?
Do we want to do this during a high storm, though? Or do we want to wait until the high storm passes?
I mean, there's a chance it
hasn't-
works. So,
It hasn't started completely yet.
well, so during the last high storm, I used numerous magics. Even before it came upon me, I had sort of short-circuited. So I wouldn't recommend it. But we're also here to help you. You can also wait until we start
Yeah.
traveling as well. Because I'm guessing it'll be like a day or two away from where I put us.
I would still kind of like to know where we're or what we're getting ourselves into before we leave so we can actually prepare for that. Even if it's just preparing mentally.
Whenever you're comfortable with trying.
Yeah, just
We
give
can.
me the paintings that you have of your place. I'll start studying them and, you know, concentrate on looking at them and trying to make a mental picture of it so that I can try to do that.
So I would have given you various paintings of like the courtyard of where I got my scar. Because I feel like that would be the best place, especially with this dragon calling me back. And then I would have also given you my holy symbol. Not my special one, but like my normal one that I had that was passed down generation to generation.
Okay. So that would be...
Well, before you try to make the maths, with the location it's different because the location obviously doesn't
Yeah.
do a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's more like your ability to try and connect to that
Yeah.
spot just via
Yeah.
seeing. So it's
Yeah.
similar.
Which is what I'm trying to look into, you know, like I have secondhand knowledge of the target, which is a place, you know, I have heard of the place. I have drawings of the target. Oh, sorry. Just give me 1 second. So sorry about that.
Do we still have the map of the ravine somewhere? I can't find it in the...
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't look
bomber.
like you saved it.
oh, I didn't put it into your
Oh,
guys'
there it
journal.
is.
I'll just take you there right now. I think that's more important than the city.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Your place was like over here, Jade, at this bastion? Or was this... No,
I
at the Dead Walker Cliff.
I don't know.
That's
All I
awesome, that
see
did-
is just a white screen.
Oh,
Okay, strange.
Right.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think it was at the Deathwalk Cliff, if I remember right.
I'm gonna reload it and see.
Yeah, probably takes time to load then.
Yeah, the Deathwalker Cliff.
Okay. So I think the best thing to do would, if I could get us to that tree, and then we start heading over there, and then we can fly across, or if I
we
could
can
see it
get
across,
to
I could
that
teleport
tree,
us
I
there.
would be very interested talking to that tree.
Because then we could do scouting before we get to your home, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have so many scouting spells, information spells.
Yep.
So if you use the ruler tool, you will see the actual distance you would have to travel. It's in miles now.
Okay. Okay, how far can we go in a day?
Like 7.
No. In a day you can get around like 25 if nothing happens. 25 miles a day.
So
Okay, what kind of
it's about a
timelines do we have here?
3-day journey.
I mean, we don't have anything until the next peace talk.
Yep.
And that could give us time to get some lay of the land.
And once we're in there, we can actually teleport to somewhere we actually know. So it's a little bit easier than hopping like
Right.
3 days walk away from somewhere.
What's the distance of your tree thing? Is it... I know it's not the lower level. Is it tree stride? I don't know.
Yeah, tree stride that I have.
It's 500 feet. It's like dimension door.
It's 500
Oh,
feet. It's
not miles,
terrible.
okay.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Okay, that's not
It's
enough.
very, very bad. It's very bad right now.
Okay.
It's not the best thing for now.
Would I know if any of the other outposts had also gotten destroyed, Jack, or if it was just mine?
I don't really know. Like you've kind of completely lost connection with everything with the other outposts and haven't heard from them since. And the Vanspire district also only had loose connections. The only reason they went to your outpost is because they felt like there was like a shift. That's why they inspected it. How they found you, but they had no reason to check out the other ones.
Okay. I guess do you want to try to scry now or wait till this is over?
Give me like an hour or so just to like study those drawings and trying to connect with the holy symbol and all that, and try to physically and mentally like put myself into the headspace that I need to try that. And I'll spend the next hour trying to familiarize myself with the drawings and meditate with the holy symbol and those drawings to try and make a mental image of the courtyard that Jade has painted.
Alright. Yes, can definitely do that.
So I'll be in a corner just meditating while the others do whatever they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Well, if no one else is doing anything in particular, then I guess you all just kind of patiently wait until Heuser completes. Usually the Heuser at this point has edged a bit closer to where you are and can hear the rattling of your windows and the bashing of both the thick raindrops and also hail that is now shattering against the outside of your house. But you're obviously very safe within this manor. But yeah, an hour passes. You've somewhat familiarized as best you can with what you have given. Obviously, these things have their own limitations. But you've got like a pretty good mental image of what this courtyard is supposed to look like.
All right. I'll join my friends. I'll have everyone meet, like in the living room area, so that we can all sit comfortably, and I'll put myself in a way that if they want to look as well, they can, and I'll concentrate on my bowl, and I will cast scrying to try and scry on that courtyard that has been described to me, and that I've tried to quote unquote attune to.
All right, then I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm good at those.
It's 19.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
So
Well, she also gets
Definitely.
+5 because she's within 5 feet or 10 feet of me.
that's true. I'm assuming you're all close together. So as you're doing that,
Paddle, yeah.
as you're now obviously very close to the high storm, and it's, literally, maybe like an hour away from, you being completely within the depths of it. And as you are, trying to weave the magic, it feels heavy. It's like you're expecting to, go into a pool of water, but instead it's a pool of mud. And it's just this weight, and the entire magical power that is here is so much more potent than it usually is, that you notice it's straining for your body to try and attempt to manipulate it to your will, as the will of something greater and stronger is obviously kind of carrying it with you. And as you're touching it, it feels like there's this strong torrent. Like if you put your hand or submerge your body inside of an ocean, and the current is just pulling you in one direction, and you're just using your willpower, your force, your annihilation field to try and use that current and make it shift in a direction you want it to. As you do so and you're straining your body, you feel like you manage to pick up some of that current, and it's not sweeping you away, and you're kind of pressing your arms together, and all of you can see how Israel's like starting to sweat a bit and shaking as not only her eyes start to glow, but her veins kind of pop up as she's unintentionally fully activating like an annihilation field that's getting enhanced by just the energy coursing through her right now. She's tapping in to the weave while a high storm is raging, and almost sounds like more lightning is thundering around you than usual. And as you're trying to weave and compress the magic towards where your bowl is, there's suddenly like extremely loud thunder, and you can feel this enormous force that was within your grasp just rip apart and combust right in front of you as you lose control for only a second, but that's enough to have it escape from your grasp. And as that happens, you can all see as suddenly this surge of energy that was like crackling at the fingertips just kind of gets released in a burst of energy, and you only take 13 points of force damage as it kind of ripples through your entire body, crackling through.
Ouchie.
And you feel that the power was a little bit too much to control, even with the 24.
Familiar.
I rush over to Israel. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then I do my lay of hands and heal you. You're 13.
It's okay. Don't worry. It happens.
But you're now healed.
You didn't have to. It was an
felt bad.
experiment. It was an experiment. Now we know. High storm's bad. We're gonna wait until it passes.
Good lesson to learn.
And then I'll try again.
Okay.
And I'll just keep studying the drawings and try to familiarize myself a little bit more now that I know that the high storm kicked my ass.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'll come back more prepared this time.
Yep. The overwhelming shift of energy kind of leaving somewhat of a scar inside of your magical potency, but nothing major. So you all kind of just, spend maybe a bit of time together for during the evening, but then obviously at some point you'll need to rest. You've been somewhat busy with searching in the archives and traveling far distances and or investigating other things. So at some point you'll kind of return to your separate rooms and wait out the high storm and the night. And as the high storm is crushing the environment around you, hours pass by, but nothing too strange happens as you're either going to sleep or just resting or meditating. After around 12 to 14 hours, the high storm passes and you can only hear the remnant sounds of the hurricane, gale force winds still blowing some of the windows outside, the rain dropping down, and obviously the thunder crashing now more faintly in the distance. And you probably have already gathered once again in the breakfast table. I don't think any one of you sleeps for 12 hours. But as the high storm's like slowly fading and going away into the distance, the first thing you feel is the temperature inside of this manor has risen drastically. It might be that it was a summer high storm, so it kind of brought in the hot winds and just the kind of high humidity, and you can all feel it, like you've started sweating a little bit. And the shift is rather drastic, like it's for those who aren't used to the heat, it's like a little bit uncomfortable. But the other thing that most of you kind of notice is it's a very weird feeling, and it's as if something that was always there, similar like if the temperature just lost a man, that's a weird way to describe it, but if the temperature scale has lost a global value, as in temperature could always, like the maximum of temperature could reach like 100 degrees Celsius. Now it feels like it can only reach 98 degrees Celsius. Like that's the highest the temperature can get. So there's like a shift in how you perceive temperature. And I'm not talking literally temperature, it's just this feeling that you have. It's like there's something that was always there, but now it has decreased to some degree. It's like as if you have like something like an electrical static that's close to your skin, and there's like this very minor pull that you can't feel, and now it's gone. It's noticeable to all of you because you are all somewhat attuned to the magical weave, and you have the sensation that there's just something that was always there, that you never questioned, that you never even knew was there, is now not there anymore. But you don't know what it is. It's as if you just lose the ability to see one color. And actually, talking about color, I think Eirik with a passive perception of 20 would definitely notice that, similar to what Isol noticed, everything seems to be desaturated. And you like ignored that when you woke up. And you were like, oh, probably your eyes are just very tired, and there's just a bit of tears that are muddying the colors. But now that you're like fully awake, you're at your breakfast, and during breakfast while you were eating the usual very vibrant and delicious looking food of jade, there's just something that's is missing, and you notice the vibrancy of the egg yolk isn't as strong anymore, and everything seems to kind of has been condensed into a more monotone version of what you once knew before. And it is like, it's nothing that's like tremendously mind-breaking. It just feels very odd. It's the best way I can describe it.
Fascinating. I'll keep that to myself for now, just trying to...
The same way I also kept it to myself for now.
Yeah.
I have not said shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say after, you wait out the storm where, it's the safe zone where, you aren't in danger of being once again intervened with its magics. And the storm fades rather quickly, to your surprise. Usually it takes a couple of hours after, the might of the high storm has raged over. There's always like a residue storm that lingers for at least like 2 hours, sometimes even a day. But now it's gone. The winds also seem to have like dissipated, completely went away. And for those who, kind of look out the windows, the sun is beaming today. It's like a lovely day. The sky is completely blue. There's not a single cloud in sight. It's like, midsummer. And that's where you can once again feel the heat. The humidity has risen. Obviously, the water that was brought down by the high storm is now starting to evaporate. And probably, once again, Eirik looking out. It's around 11 o'clock. And usually during this time, you would see like the ends of the astral vestige. It's not there. And Jade, you would also notice that. Past perception 17, that's definitely something you notice.
Barring the last high storm that kind of sent us all scattering into different places, it just feels different. Now, there's like I don't know. There's just a difference going on now.
The last high storm we got was a freezing high storm, and then all of a sudden we got a tropical high storm.
Yeah.
And they just like switch like this, and it's kind of weird that they've like flip-flopped like this. They went from one extreme to the other.
I wonder if the same high storm exists in different locations around the continent. Like, would people up north somewhere have felt the exact same thing that we just felt?
If basically Yeshimon would have had the same high storm as us. I wonder if they got a freezing high storm. Like, how would they react to that? They're in the desert, right?
Yep.
They're not prepared for that.
A lot of it is, yeah.
They're not prepared for that type of temperature. Like, I'm sure it was hard here as well. We're in the more tropical side of Azathia.
Yeah.
We're not as north here.
I mean,
a reminder
up in
that...
Yeshimon, Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think this is probably the last one. So it won't matter what people got because there might not be any more.
There's also that.
I guess that's probably why it feels a little different.
Yeah, like a runner at the end of a marathon. He's kind of just tired.
We're gonna have to double being careful though, because as we know, high storms used to be able to help taking care of lesser demons that would be walking around, and now if we don't have sorry, I got distracted by Jack and his hair. Yeah, so we might be having a little bit more and more and more and more lesser
Yeah,
demons.
and we're gonna
on
go
our
to the
hands.
source of them. So
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah. Let's keep that in mind. Not everyone knows that this was probably the last high storm, so people are probably not prepared to be facing more and more demons.
nope.
Well, one problem at a time, and
Yeah.
I'm sure Zephyrus knows, and the Lichnians probably know. They have seers, so things will change.
Yeah, we're gonna need all the protection we can. And when I say we, I mean everyone, like not just us here.
Well, I think we've got all the stuff that we needed to get, right? We didn't have to go back to pick anything up before.
Nope.
I'm as ready as I'll be.
I can, now that the storm has passed, I can try one more time scrying and see what it does. If I can try to tap in there a little bit.
Sure.
All right. I'll sit down, get myself ready, and once again cast scrying and try to get that brain, get those eyes in that courtyard.
Yes. Alright, and as you're focusing, now somewhat uninterrupted, you can make a straight wisdom check with advantage, since you've been spending a lot of time investigating and trying to visualize this place.
I'll give you guidance.
Alright. And then a d4. Boop. And I also have that +5 from you because I'm not far.
That's a
right?
save. That's a save.
It's only per save.
Oh, it's on the save. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot.
So,
I forgot.
21, you're like,
Yeah.
you know, visualizing this courtyard and just kind of trying to project this image into the bowl and trying to just find something similar in this, well, region/world. And it takes a bit of time, like you're like really focusing during this entire process of the ritual, and you're siphoning through all the possible locations, and you're basically just reconstructing whatever you're seeing mentally, and hoping that this puzzle that you have created inside of your mind fits in a place that exists as you are concerned to the northeast of you. And as you're doing that, you can see, you know, Fiera, Jade, and Irik, you're looking on Isorel. Once again, she kind of starts sweating, not only because of the heat, but because she's like really focusing and concentrating. And as one of her beads of sweat falls into the bowl of holy water, the ripples suddenly produce light, color, as an image starts to appear that is devoid of light, though the subtle hues of grey tones start to form broken cobblestone. In many places of this cobblestone, it seems like it's heavily eroded, broken down, holes exist everywhere. As you're looking at just, for the best that you can see from the scrying vision, a broken floor made out of cobblestone. And there's one part that you're visualizing, there's just a big hole where it just leads into nothingness. And you're not even sure if maybe your scry is just not working, or if just beneath this hole there's no light source. And you're also aware you can only see right now because you have dark vision. For Fiera, you just see a dark image on a scrying board, and you're like, ah, damn, it failed. But yes, you are seeing what seems to be one part of a courtyard, because obviously your scrying vision is heavily limited.
I will try and listen if I hear any type of sounds, wind, any noise from creatures or animals or anything. Try to really focus on, since I can't rely on the eyes for this one, I'll try and really pour everything into the listening and try to identify if I can hear anything that could indicate that there are people, creatures, beings that are around there, and just try to see if I can use my ears for this one.
Alright, then make a perception check.
What?
What?
What? Oh,
That
my
was...
roll 20 thing just decided to close, but I got a 14.
Alright, a 14. Gonna close your eyes.
Yeah, I got a 14.
Focusing on your ears. And there's not much sound in that place. You do hear the faint passing of wind, and like the occasional falling stone from a very high height that just kind of, you know, crumbles onto a platform and just skips and it continues falling down. But other than that, it's completely silent. You don't hear any skittering or growling or scratching. It's just a empty courtyard for the best that you can ascertain from seeing the stone floor. Other than that, it's not much.
Do I... That courtyard, Jade, is it centrally located or near where people we would, if there were people, we would hear people? If there was anything?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the center of the village.
Okay, I'm not hearing anything at all.
It is possible that no one is there. I
Yeah.
am the only survivor. I am surprised that my tormentor isn't around. Or at least we can't hear him.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. I don't know for you guys, but all I hear is like the rock fall, a little rock falling here and there, the wind. So,
I mean, it's an abandoned spot in a ravine. That kind of makes sense.
but I'm also not hearing your shadow dragon thing. I'm not hearing demons as well. I'm not hearing, bad stuff as well. So
Yeah, but
that's
let's be real. It's the one moment that you scried into a mile
And it's
long.
hundreds of miles long.
no, of course, but I mean, we're trying to get to her, to that spot for her.
Yeah.
So it's not
if
like
anything,
the village
it's-
is run by demons. Like there's not a colony of demons that just decided to set up shop there. We would hear some noise, even if they were just walking around. I don't think they would be talking or anything, but we would hear some slurping
it means it's
and
safe to
blurping
approach.
safe-ish. I don't think we'll ever be safe in the ravine, but safe-ish is fine with me.
Okay.
Um,
Well, let me know. It's incredibly dark. So I know what to expect.
Jade's gonna kind of walk away, and I'm gonna find like a quiet spot, and I'm gonna try to meditate and try to talk to my ancestors.
Okay.
And I want to try and ask them what they remember from the night before everything fell apart. And I want to see if they know of this dragon thing, or if they saw anything before they died. Because I've never actually wanted to face this before and ask family. But now I'm wanting to.
Yeah, make a straight charisma check.
And I give myself guidance.
16.
16.
Obviously, this is like
terrible.
this is more like a forced communication thing, which obviously doesn't always turn out that well if you're trying to in a moment contact your spiritual self. That was you kind of reclining back and then deepening your thoughts and trying to connect back with your ancestors. Like, you as Jade understand that though you like kind of connect with your ancestors, it's not how should we say it? It's not directly your ancestors. The lives you project are the memories and kind of stories that have been told within the history of your family. So they are not one-to-one the people you once knew. So the people you call upon when you recall back from your ancestry don't necessarily share the same memory pool like the deceased ones. It's like very different because it's their shadows. It's like a version of them that has transferred into a wider spectrum of your tribe. That's how they're kept alive. They aren't kept alive individually. That wouldn't work because you can't house complete souls within one person, and you understand that. But the wisdom, the knowledge, and all that stuff is always left behind. And as you are trying to ring back and try to access that parts of their soul that might have been present during the attack, it feels like there's still this mental gate of just pure PTSD and trauma that is kind of blocking you in properly communicating with your ancestry, because once again the shadows of your ancestors are linked to yours firstly. And so if you yourself aren't strong enough to cross that gap, cross or confront that fear, your ancestors also won't be able to follow. And that's what you feel like. You have to somehow be able to confront this fear to be able to ask them anything more, because as long as you are held back, they are obviously also held back with you. So only together can you be strong. And that's where you have like trouble shifting through there. Though with a 16, I will tell you one thing, and that is there's a bit of dissonance that is happening between the memories you're trying to invoke and the fear that you are subjectively feeling as Jade, and kind of the fear and despair that your ancestors felt during that same time period. There's like a slight dissonance going on there, and which is also causing you to have a trouble connecting with them, because it's almost like you're trying to remember two different things.
I'll make my way back to the group. Sorry I walked away. I needed to try something myself, and I was not able to gain any information either.
You have to try, but I mean, our journey's to get there.
Well, what's the plan?
Do we want to head out? Since it's still morning, it'd be a good time to get some distance. Do we have everything we need?
Is there anybody we need to tell where we're going?
I guess I don't.
Yeah, I don't think we're only expected in like 2 weeks or so at that peace talk. So
Is it that long?
I don't know. I don't remember. Was it 2 weeks?
Yeah, two of us.
2 of us. Yeah.
We have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's prepare to set out. I think wherever I bring us, we should be ready to rumble as soon as we're there, just in case. I guess I can give you this back, Jade, if you want your Pearl of Power back. I don't think I need it anymore.
Oh, I will gladly take that back.
I have plenty of my own tools, so yeah, that back. But I do have a quick confession before we go. I did try to reach out to Tiamat, just on a whim. I wanted to confirm some things, and I'm also trying to prepare for the inevitable, which is our quest to get that instrument. But I did kind of see Tiamat sleeping, which was interesting. So we weren't lied to, or, not fully lied to. But also to that end, I think I want to carry the blood crystal with me.
The witch?
Tiamat's blood,
Oh, right.
the shiny thing.
You wanted to stay attuned to it?
I think I can use it. It has a direct connection with Tiamat, and one of their eyes did see me.
Yeah, great.
Right. But I'm hoping I can use it.
If we have something that you think is helpful for whatever reason, go for it.
Well, my ultimate end goal is to try to get us out of this, but if I can't, then we need the power to resist it. So,
Yeah.
Plunk it out of Hazrael's bag if you let me. Great. Okay, besides that, are we ready to zip somewhere? My recommendation is still the tree first, and then we can just go from there.
Yep. With
Do
a
it.
little
Okay,
bit of
hike is fine.
chance, we'll actually pop away from the tree, but towards the ravine.
Well, I kind of
Don't
want to
wishful
look at the
thinking
tree
too
first.
much. We don't want to accidentally end up free falling into the ravine.
That's
Oh
why
no,
I
no,
want to
no!
be
Of
a good.
course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. But
I'm
like, if we're going
I
to
have other
miss the
worries,
tree, if we're going to miss the tree by a couple miles, it would be nice to be towards the ravine and not the other way around.
Sure. Sure. Um,
It's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's so far, but yes.
Oh, I
The
should
worst
probably-
possible thing is I think I can get us 24 miles closer, so, or farther, or in the ground. Anyways, prepare whatever spells you need. I probably made a copy of the map while I was at the archive, like a quick sketch. So I kind of just like, okay, imagine a big tree. It doesn't look like it has leaves. Yeah, it looks like a bare tree. There's like tombstones. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. See, the one thing, I don't know if you guys looked at this map a lot. There's a death tree ward. There's also a tomb, and there's a grave, and the death walk cliff, and another stone grove, which kind of sounds like a graveyard. Is there just like death everywhere there?
Well, yes, that's why Korzar exists.
Can
It's
you
not the greatest
explain?
place.
It's there to prevent demons from coming out too much out of the ravine. It's a military outpost that has been placed there specifically to try and keep the demon population as low as possible.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, they have destructed everything that is around.
Wonderful. So we could just run
Them
into
and every other
death.
crap that lives in that ravine. No offense to you, Jade.
You're good. I know it's not for everybody.
Okay, then I'll mage armor, I'll alacrity myself. Shepherd
While
anybody
you get
else?
all prepped, I'll
Spell.
ritualistic. I'll just take a couple minutes to cast my speak with animals ritualistically. And I'll just go outside in the courtyard and try to find like whatever animals are around, like either birds or like squirrels or anything like that, whatever, and I'll just ask them to keep an eye on my estate while I'm gone, and that I will be back, and that I would like a report if there is any strangers coming around. So I'm recruiting the birds and the squirrels to be my own little guards for the house while I'm gone.
Personal FBI made out
Yes.
of little
Made
ones.
out of birds and squirrels.
Yeah. Alright, special squad team assembled by Israel.
Yes.
Okay. Then I guess Fiera, are you preparing?
Sure.
It's
I
always
have my
scary to
anti-demon
say it.
spell. Well, I've never teleported somewhere I haven't been and have no object, and it's not looking at a tree on a map.
Yeah. I mean...
Okay, just forewarning, this might hurt. That's my warning. Okay. Yeah, that's all I got.
Do you need us to like do you need us to sign like a release form or something? Do you need like a blood pact or anything? Like
I mean, technically, I could probably figure that out.
that
No.
was a joke.
That was. Poof clamor.
Ah!
Hey, welcome. We're about to leave. Actually, this might kill you. Poof away.
Ah!
I'll bring it back later.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, I just realized he has like 1 hit point, so it's not enough. Yeah, are we ready? Everybody get close. And then I'll think about the Death Tree Ward, 80 miles southeast of the ravine, northeast of Corzar. It's probably a massive dead tree, is what I'm imagining, with like tombs underneath it, and the air of death and void of probably a strong connection to magic. And I'll open up a gate here and search out for the end of the thread.
All right. As you see, Fier concentrating to try and construct this magical gate that will transport you there in an instant. That's where we go to a break, and we'll see if it works or not afterwards. So,
Do you want me to roll now or after?
no, I roll. You don't get to know what happens.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
a jack roll. Okay.
I have my special
Okay.
D100
boy.
dice right here, baby.
Oh, snappy snap.
But we'll see.
Okay.
So see you guys in a bit, and hopefully it's successful. We'll see. Bye.
Where are we at?
And we are back. Please like and subscribe for the success of these weary travelers as they make their way to a location, is what I'm gonna say. And let's see whether or not they'll be successful. So you start weaving your magic, and as you do so, there's, before anything happens, there's one thing you do notice as you kind of just pulling the strings of the weave together, similar to what I described with Azathia during the high storm, when there's like this strong current where the potency of magic has increased and it feels like she's moving her hands through mud. You get the opposite effect now, where you expect water, but it seems like there's a little bit less resistance, but not in a positive way. It's not like, oh, it's easier for you to like control the water around you, but because it's so much more loose, it's like a little bit more intangible now, and you have to spend a bit more time focusing on actually connecting the threads of magic that you usually do on a very subconscious level as you're so attuned to it. And you notice that it's like you swing out to grab one part of the weave, but you just miss it, and you have to like go around to recatch it. And so casting like especially this big amount of magic, where you have to collect and accumulate a lot of power from the weave, seems to be a little bit more challenging. And one part of you isn't quite sure if that has something to do with the fact that you aren't used to casting this high level magic, and that you're in a magic recession, though after a high storm that definitely shouldn't be the case. It should be a magic high.
The opposite.
Yeah, so that is something you just keep track of, but there's enough power around you to create the spell that you want to. And as that happens, I shall roll my D100. Actually, because I do want my the viewers to see it, I will have my assistant roll it digitally. And
We want higher than 43.
well, what the end there, so they know for sure I ain't making this number up. So Here we go. You guys won't see
Higher
it.
the better, higher the better. No.
Oh, that's concerning.
Is it 1 or 100? That's all I want to know.
Okay. Let's see. This number.
That's below. Super low. He gasped. You don't gasp when it's 100. This might hurt.
Okay.
Welcome to the ocean.
Please no.
I don't think we'll end up in the ocean, but there's a good chance we end up underground.
Okay.
Which is a verse, I think.
So, as Fiera is weaving the magic and it gets completed, you kind of pull your hands together, kind of, putting in the last knot of this tie, you all suddenly feel the shift around you as you kind of get ejected out of the place you are and into high space. You can see the high amounts of pressure that suddenly gets exerted onto all of your bodies as the strain is pulling you and you're stepping through this void. But because you feel that magic is a little bit more intangible to you than usual, usually, you want this gap of the void to be as slim as possible, because any extended period of time inside of there can be fatal. And as you kind of accidentally lose the grip of the weave that holds this hole together, it slips and you spend a bit longer inside of the void than you want to. And as you do that, you all feel a strong shudder as you take, was a mishap, 15 points of force damage. You get ejected as Fiera tries to control this and bring it back. So we'll roll again to see what happens.
Yep. Come on, big money.
You're right.
Oh, no.
Holy shit! I will just say it. I rolled a 100. Holy shit!
Okay.
So as you,
I can fix this.
as you feel your body's being crushed and pulled apart at the same time, your soul's getting teared and fractured by the environment that you're inside of. Fiera, you just kind of get yourself together, focus, use all of your might and concentration that you can kind of coalesce in this moment and just tie this weave together. Focus on a big, large, dead tree within an approximate location where you believe it to be via the info you have on this map. And as you do so, you kind of channel the energy. The first thing you do is eject everyone outside of this void space as you can feel it tearing through your bodies. And then you just kind of singular aim at one point that resonates with you strongly as you can kind of see these almost magical creations of the surrounding, like an after image of the world itself as you kind of moving with incredible speed throughout the entire parts of the magical weave, kind of pinpointing and bouncing around. But as soon as you feel this resonance, you just shift your entire energy towards that place and just throw everyone there. And as you do so, you can all kind of feel your stomach just flip on itself, and with this great sense of nausea that kind of comes around you, you land in space, and you can all feel this sudden shift of gravity now reattaching to your bodies, the environment, the hot air, the wind kind of cooling you down a bit with the sweat that's now trickling through you. You feel freezing and burning at the same time, but as you all take a deep breath in, taking a moment, you can feel yourself dizzy. All of you see stars as the kind of blood pressure definitely has been shifted heavily from your body. But you look the ground is like kind of gray, earthy. There's no plant life in your immediate vicinity, but large rocks that you can see spawn around you. Large, big rocks. And most of this landscape is filled with mainly boulders. And as you kind of all take a deep breath in, making sure that you're all okay, but you can still feel the very evident damage that you have sustained, you see that there is this very large structure that kind of looms over these boulders and rocks that are just set in this almost like, I wouldn't say sand, but it's like very loose earth that just surrounds you. And the first thing that you all think of, and that this definitely reminds you of, except for Jade, because she wasn't there yet, is the Gravekeeper Ward from Lazula's Cave, where it was this very desaturated dirt with a lot of rocks also around and tombstones. So you don't see any tombstones here. And you also don't see any kind of, uplifting roots that come from the ceiling. Above you is the clear sky. The sun is kind of blaring down on you, but the looming structure you can see looks like a burnt tree. There's no tops, there are no branches, there's nothing. There's just only the bottom side of a tree that kind of stands there as if it was crashed down at some point, but it's very dark in color. Very much reminds you of when you burn down a tree and all that remains is the base of it or parts of its body and nothing else.
I'll approach it.
It's very far away. It's like still.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, it's peering over the rest of the environment. It's like about 5 miles.
Okay.
I guess. So, sorry about the trip. Something felt a little odd.
I mean, it happens to the best of us.
Well,
it was very approximate, so.
I think I got as close. But yeah, should we?
We got here.
Yeah. I guess after you, Ezra. I'm curious.
I need to go see. It's not that much of a detour, right?
Well, I guess 5 miles. Do we have a fast way to travel? Probably not. I think we're just on foot.
Well, I can turn into a horse. If Jade wants to bring in Gustulu. Then we could travel a little bit faster, maybe. It would give us a couple hours of,
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Oh, they changed the Find Steed spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
But not by much.
No, they just gave it like actions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, did we lose Gustulu?
No, sorry. So before, it never gave me stats for him or anything like that. It just said what I could. But when I clicked on it this time, it actually has
so
attack
there's like a
roll.
stat block.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good now. It's crazy what it can do.
Yeah.
And you have like 3 different variants of steed you can summon now.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's travel by speed. That sounds a lot better. I'll poof out Glamour though. He can join us.
Yeah.
All right. I'll turn into a war horse.
He looks around. Unsurprised.
We're going for a walk.
Oh, great. That's what I was missing. Walking. And then he starts walking.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring out Gustulu. We're gonna make him a dire wolf this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we will make him We'll do Celestial.
A
Alrighty.
celestial direwolf.
I actually have an image for that. It's crazy, but I don't know it prepared.
That sounds like a bad thing or a good thing.
Oh, this is celestial, so
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So I'm a war horse, so technically both Fiera and Eric can ride on
I'll
me.
go with the horse.
Yep.
I don't know if I feel comfortable on a wolf.
I'm hopping right up on top.
Does Glamour want to ride on my shoulder?
it's like, you know what? That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. And jumps onto the yeah.
A cat riding a wolf.
Yeah.
D&D.
Here we are.
Indeed.
Yep.
I mean, can also have that in the real world. Yeah, that's a lot.
I just hit use and to mark it off because I get one free
That is
use
so
of it.
long.
So sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean for it to cast it, show it in there. But
All right, off we go.
Okay. Then you kind of start making your way towards the large shape of a dead tree as you're kind of galloping your way through. The land around here seems to be rather flat. And there's always an occasional gust of wind that passes through that picks up a bit of the kind of dust or loose earth that lies around on the ground. And like I said, the entire landscape here is littered with just boulders everywhere. Like large, from large to medium, occasionally small boulders, but most of them are around maybe 10 to 15 feet tall, or sometimes only 5 to 7 feet in diameter. As you're kind of passing by them, there's one large boulder that kind of grabs your attention, Eirik, just because, you know, you're very perceptive, and especially being this new surrounding and obviously being in the Servalon Great Woods. Though, to be fair, while you're here, doesn't give you the vibe of the Servalon Great Woods. There are no huge trees that surround you like it usually does. And this seems like the very absence of what a Great Wood would look like. There's no tree in sight other than the one big dead one in front of you. But the thing that catches your eye is you see on one of the stones there's like a bit of you think you see like an engraving on it. It's almost like a wall painting or something like that, and that just catches your eye because there's like a bit of pigment there and something that seems very obviously man-made.
I'll just notice it, but I won't say anything out loud or anything. But I'll keep an eye out
Can we
to see if
set-
I start seeing more.
Yeah.
Can we tell if we're north, east, south, or west of the tree?
Yeah, with the blaring sun that's hitting you right now, it's rather easy to tell. You're definitely on the south, and the trees north of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, 100 mile. We won't be able to see that from here. Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of continue riding, and as you're, you know, getting closer and closer, there are more stones where you very evidently see these bits and pieces, and sometimes there's a bit of writing on one. Other times there's like a small drawing, some imagery. Obviously you can't see much while you're riding at tremendous speeds, but you definitely pick that up. And at some point, Jade, you would also pick these things up where an entire side of a stone seems to have some sort of carving or image engraved into it. Yeah, as you're kind of riding through.
So have you been here, Jade, or just at the ravine?
pretty much just at the ravine. Like, I kind of know of surrounding areas, but not details of any kind.
Okay.
We pretty much If it wasn't for my village being wiped out, I would have spent my entire life just in the ravine.
How long can you have Gus to out?
Until he dies.
Okay.
You can go some way. You can.
Wow.
Okay.
It's,
That was the like cutest way you could have said that.
Until he dies. So,
Oh my gosh.
Because, it's the horse galloping that is talking. I'm like, because technically I can be 12 hours of horse per day.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
Hmm.
yeah.
Is that in game? That thunder?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
That was outside. I was like, is it a
We're
thunderstorm?
realistic
I
atmosphere.
know. I thought
Give
so
me
at first as well.
second.
I thought it was like out of game 2 for a second until you said something. I was like, "There's no way we're that far apart."
Yes. So you're all just kind of slowly making your way through these parts, and it is like complete sunshine, by the way. There's no clouds, there's nothing. But as you're spending more time here, there's and you all kind of pick up on this. It's not something you see, but well, it's kind of something you see as you're moving past these zones and getting closer and closer. You've now spent about, maybe like 5 minutes just riding. You're pretty fast on dire wolf and horseback, obviously. And every now and again, you think like you see something past a stone. It's just like something like almost like a silhouette of something just kind of disappears behind a stone. And as you ride past it and you look behind it, there's just nothing there. And as you kind of go more and more, on occasional bits when you feel like the gusts of wind pick up from one other side, there's always a very small whisper that carries with it that almost seems like there's like a very soft voice kind of trying to tell you something. And then you look into that direction. As you kind of look there, you see once again a silhouette, but it disappears behind another stone. And this happens on a variety of occasions as you're kind of making your way there, to a point where it kind of distracts you, Isurel and Jade, because your dire wolf also picks up on it, and he kind of sometimes stops and then just looks in one direction, but there's just
So
nothing
he
there.
can communicate with me telepathically.
Yes, and he definitely communicates that something's odd. You can hear your dog kind of mentally say to you, something's here.
I just like grab like my axe off my back, and I'm just like holding it, just like ready. We're not alone.
Not surprised.
Jade's just like holding her axe, like, let's go.
Oh, I'm with Eirik, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll cast the Alacrity again and give it to you. I can cast it.
Oh.
So that's fine.
Thank you.
You love pep in your step. I thought maybe Izra could use it more. I don't know how fast she is up horse. Why not? Third Alacrity. Put on Azrael too.
All right. Yes, and it's like a very weird, surreal moment where you're like having these weird hallucinations or seeing things and hearing things, but it's broad daylight. In fact, where it's like the opposite of where usually when it's dark and you're not quite sure there's something behind a shadowed corner. Now it's like the sun is occasionally blinding you and you're not sure if you saw something there. Or because it's so warm, once again, you're starting to sweat a bit as you're kind of making your way through here. at certain areas, if you look in the distance, you can see like traces of like a Fata Morgana just, you know, playing mind tricks on you. But in some of these Fata Morganas, as you're keeping an eye on the horizon, you swear to God that you see 3 shapes walking there. But as if you blink and try to focus more, the waves kind of just shift, and then it's just stones that are just standing there.
You know, I've always heard about ghosts. Can't really say I've seen one.
I think that's probably the point.
Well,
The
when I
ghosts
talk to
don't like being seen. Hence the
Right.
ghost.
But why do they linger is the question.
Unfinished business.
Just a warning.
Well, as long as we're not their unfinished business.
And you continue riding on as you do so. As well, make a strength saving throw. As a horse, by the way.
I'm sure we're running side by side, so you'd get the bonus from me. The +5.
Holy.
Wow, amazing. As you are kind of all riding.
I'm a war horse. I'm a war horse.
Plus you get 5 on top of that.
Your dire wolf can also make one, Jade.
Where's my...
We need a number of
He's-
medals to.
You said strength
Yes, strength saving.
save?
Yep.
And then it would get my +5.
Yes, easy. As you're all kind of like riding through Israel, and your dire wolf would also feel the same, you just feel a sudden tug on your leg, as if something's trying to pull you down, and you just feel as something literally grasps your legs. And as you're kind of riding through, you almost stumble down, but manage to catch yourself to not be pulled down. Instead, as you kind of yank your arm or your leg back out, you can just see that some hand out of the earth has snatched your ankle and is now being pulled out of the earth just by the might of your horse running through. And the same happens to your direwolf, where on 2 parts of his legs, one his front leg and his left hind leg, just you can see these almost like glowing spectral blue hands kind of grasp out of the earth and just kind of try to grapple the direwolf and pull it to the ground. But the direwolf is strong enough and kind of just manages to shake them apart. However, it kind of, your pace gets slowed as you kind of, you know, try to dodge these hands just coming out of the ground. And as you step to the side, you can see coming out of the ground, you can suddenly see these spectral forms manifesting themselves, almost like weird strands of blue energy coming out of some of the rocks, and then they kind of form these almost translucent silhouettes of humanoids, but you can see a pulsing red glowing heart inside all of them, and they kind of always fade semi-translucently out of existence and then back inside, as if they're like struggling to stay on this earth. And you can see one that's behind you that kind of crawled out of the ground that tried to grab Isorel, and the other 2 that are like kind of lying between the direwolves that he managed to kind of drift apart. And then out of other stones, they seem to be surrounding you. And these whispers just start to murmur around you. And I need all of you to roll initiative
Jesus.
as they surround you there.
Oh, can you pull up one of their pictures?
As horse.
Or are they tokens?
They're tokens. I don't have a
horse.
full picture for them.
Alright, so Israel, you have a D8 too.
Okay.
Come on.
Right, horse.
So my direwolf shares my initiative.
Yes.
Oh my
And
god.
a D8.
Holy shit.
There we go.
I got over 30.
Wow.
Before we start, does anyone want to trade their initiative with me?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, I'll trade.
Does Spear want to trade instead?
I'm good. I want to get a spell off.
Okay, so I'll switch my initiative with Eirik.
When
I am last.
So this is like a barren ground with rocks. No, like vegetation.
Nope, no vegetation.
Eirik, your
How
initiative
tall are
is
these?
7, right?
Sort
Yeah,
of.
27. Yeah.
These rocks, or what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are around always between 10 to 15 feet. Like the very big ones seem to be 15 feet. And the other ones, like the smaller ones, seem to be always between 10 or like 7 or so. So, well, their initiative are pretty low. Good for you guys. But they're
Great.
pretty good. Okay, so starting this off as this turmoil begins, Fiera, you're obviously first to react as to see this happening.
Wonderful. What direction are we headed?
North.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a little rough. Okay. Yeah, how big is this? This is a 40-foot cube. Let me get you a measuring stick. Line, square, there we go. 40-foot cube would be 20 feet. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I can get them all pretty easily. Yeah, seeing we're surrounded, I'm just going to throw up my hand with the glove that is no longer active, but just out of, I guess, habit, and I'll just throw down a big slow spell in the area targeting all the ghostly fellows. That is a wisdom save.
Alright.
And yeah, I'll just say it's like centered here.
Okay, so that is every one. I go from left to right, top to bottom. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I should color them. I always forget to do that. There's a red one. This is a blue one. This is a one. And there are two different variants. You can see that two of them seem to be wearing somehow like more armor, though you can't really see the armor since their form is like constantly changing and stuff. But there are some that look a little bit different. Okay, I will start with the non-armored one, though they are armored. I'm just saying that. Wisdom saves, right?
Yep.
Right.
I think I'm on the horse. I
Yes.
don't know where to put me.
So that's a fail, a fail, a fail, and a fail. And then for the other two,
6 for 6.
that's make it.
I gotta save my reaction. Okay.
And that's a fail. So everyone except the pink one is slowed. So I guess I'll just mark the pink one, since that's easier to mark one than a lot of people.
Great. Yep, no reactions, and I can post the thing. There's a lot. But -2 AC, so people can blast them. Pretty easy.
Or I'm just gonna move my ISRL token so I don't get mixed up with them.
There it is. You know, this whisper into Azrael's ear, I'll follow you. We can run or we can fight. I slowed most of them, except for the guy over there, and I'll point to the pink one. And that'll be it.
Okay.
I'll the honor, I guess.
Yeah, then that takes us to Jade.
So I don't really know how this will look. I guess it'll pretend like I'm trying to bite it because it just says otherworldly slam for my so it'd be a spell attack.
Wow. That is a critical failure as it tries to slam, but your celestial direwolf's kind of reacting unnaturally to these creatures and doesn't seem to like them very much and kind of just whiffs completely.
And then for me, I'll try to slash into it. There's a 21 hit.
21 definitely hits. Damage, nice.
And then
Does
I'll
it
go
look
again.
like it's hurting them?
It does look like it's hurting them as, you know, your magical great axe kind of swings by
Okay.
and it, you know, kind of wishes through and you can feel a little bit of resistance there. Though it's not physical resistance, more like you're hitting, you know, whatever plasma or essence they're made out of and kind of disperses them. And it has like trouble reshaping itself back into the image it took on previously. Another 16 was the second hit. Then the second time around you slash through it, you can see once again its form disperses and there's like a dissonance as it's trying to reshape itself, but it's still there, but it's having a now much harder time keeping a solid shape or form.
Okay.
Well, they're not very tough. There's just a lot of them, and there's probably more that will appear. Most likely.
I just like take off running.
Alright, well, it's important to kind of calculate the distance. I think the pink one, because you would have to pass by the pink one, would get an attack of opportunity against you.
Yeah.
So he will definitely make that as you're kind of going by. He will like slash with his long sword towards you. Was it 23? I believe that hits. And he would try to obviously hit your direwolf since he's the one provoking attack of opportunity.
It'd actually be right there.
So your direwolf takes 9 slashing damage as it kind of just heaves by, and then in the moment it touches your direwolf, the kind of ethereal sword manifests into a physical one as cuts through your direwolf. Right, anything else you'd like to do, Jade?
No.
Okay, then that takes us to Eirik.
Yes. I'm going to, for the first time, I'm just going to use Create Bonfire and get these two in a little bonfire. So aim towards the spot between the two of them and just embers start to like bubble up in that 5-foot square, and all of a sudden it just grows into this towering sort of flame box.
Okay, is it 5 foot in diameter or 5 foot radius square? Because if it's just a 5 foot square, it actually would be a bit smaller than that.
It says 5 foot cube. Well,
Cube?
5 foot cube.
Yeah, then it would only be as big as one of these boxes, unfortunately.
So we'll go at him then.
Alright. The one that is not slowed.
Can you make it touch both of them, or is it? Oh no, that they have. Okay, never mind. I didn't see anything.
Does it have to make any save or?
Yeah. Let me just put it into the chat.
Dexterity save. Alright, that it will do. The 13 it fails.
And I get an extra D8 for the damage.
That's a total
24
of
damage.
24 damage. Nice. Alright, anything else?
Oh, hang on. Sorry. It's been a minute. The tooth. Oh yeah, because it will always deal at least half the max damage. So the damage that I rolled, the 2 and the 4 should all. The 2 should be a 4.
Well, it's half of total. So 3d8 would be 24, and 12 is half. So 12 is the minimum you can afford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Alright, anything else we'd like to move?
I'm going to stay on Isahorse for now.
Nice.
Just check this. No.
Are we
No.
running or what?
I'm on you, so if you want to run, we run.
They can't talk to you.
I speak.
She
Oh,
can
you can
speak in these forms.
I
Oh,
can
yeah.
speak
The new
in
druid
this
does.
form. The new druid does. I speak now.
Mhm.
If
You're
you
learning how
run,
to
I
talk.
run.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
we follow you.
Okay. Then that ends Aric's turn. Then you can see how the wraiths now slowly start to move with half movement. I believe every single one of them will be able to. Oops, that's the wrong one. Make it towards
Boy.
you guys.
If we're running, I'll
Sorry.
use a big spell protect us.
Sorry, I kind of took off.
Alright, take left. Oh god.
So they will
Kind of surrounded.
make a longsword attack against. Well, I guess. Would I attack the horse? Yeah, I would say 2 will attack the horse with advantage because of flanking. And
Alright.
Yes.
one
I'm in
will
the triple digits.
attack Fiera, and the other one will attack Irik. So the first 2 will be on you, Isarel.
Yes.
23.
Yes.
So you take a total of 17.
Yep. Oops. Nope. Not 147. Just 17.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit too crazy. The other one hits you for a 15.
Nope.
Doesn't hit you.
Nope. My new AC is good.
As they try to kind of hit you, but the back of your horse, you just kind of kick its ethereal sword, parrying it there. The next one is gonna go on you, Irik, with a 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh wait, no, it doesn't have advantage on you, an 18.
Oh, that misses.
Okay, so tries to hit you, but your strengthened armor is sturdy enough that it kind of just deflects the blow, and then the last one shall go on, of course, Fiera with an 11.
Oh,
It misses.
That clanks off my armor. So
Yeah. Cling. for a surprising amount, your force field kind of probably like a mixture of gravity magic and time magic, just kind of making his sword warp around you, not quite managing to hit its targets, and that ends the turn. It can't do much more. And brings us to Ice Well.
Okay, it's time for Ice a Horse. I will action disengage.
You don't have to. They're slowed. Just go.
Oh, do what?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Wait, they make a
they
savings
get
throw at the end of the turn.
Yes,
So
yes.
we'll see.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Let's
we go clockwise from top left. Wow.
This one?
No, he definitely. Yeah,
This
no.
one,
No.
this one, this one.
I will chronal shift that one.
All right. Wow.
Okay.
They all
All right.
stay.
So I just bolt because they're slowed. So come on, my
Okay.
friends,
Oh.
join me.
Try nice well.
Okay, and then so that was just running. And then the one thing I can do as a horse, I'll just turn around my head, and from my mouth as I neigh, Starry Wisp comes out,
Okay.
and I
I
will,
think that was going somewhere.
and I will go for the pink one.
All right. Oh, a 16 unfortunately won't hit that one, as it brings up
Alright.
its shield in the last moment, and then it disperses on its steel shield before.
Action. And then that was my action. Hold on, I have to. Oh shoot! It's the other one. Oh my gosh! It's. Okay. Okay. All right. It's also action. Question.
Hmm.
A class bonus action as a wild shape, does it work or not?
What?
I want to Misty Step with them and get a little bit further. Does that work? Because
No.
it's a class thing that I can do.
Oh yeah, you can Misty Step one watch it, but you wouldn't take them with you. They would just stay there.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, they would stay there. Okay,
It
I'm
would
not
fall
gonna
to the
do that.
ground.
Yeah. Okay, so I did use my action to try to Starry Wisp them. Alright. So that's pretty much what I can do. But I'm also running.
All right. Then we come to their turn. This one here, who is yet unslowed, shall break off the distance to go here. But it kind of pulls up its arm, and then its sword kind of disappears and it turns into this large banner that is carrying on a pole. And you just hear this kind of undead voice, Colossal. And, well, let me roll 1d4. Wow! You just suddenly see all around you how more rays start to appear out of the ground. There's a +1, so 5 of them kind of crawling out of the ground, surrounding you as he's holding this spectral banner, which then kind of slowly fades and burns as you're now surrounded by even more.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
and then he will use his bonus action. Oh, we will first move one more movement there, and then attack you, Fiera. Obviously, knowing that you are kind of holding his comrades back. Yes, with his longsword. It was a 17.
Yeah.
Will hit as you take 15 points of damage. Oof, but you have advantage. You're a warcaster, right?
No.
Oh. Oh.
I'm the warcaster.
I thought she also.
The slow goes away.
But. Oh, wow. So the other one will kind of walk all the way.
Unless
here.
somebody wants to use their Fate Meeble medallion, you know?
It's a bit too late. You have to say it before that happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And you're not within 10 feet of. Okay, that wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then there's one longbow shot towards. I guess the horsey. Towards Eirik. Well, actually two now, since. It's. Actually, no. Yeah, two longbow shots towards. Yeah, let's say the horse. So the first one coming. Please roll 20. Any moment now. A 22. Hits the horse.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes.
And then the second one with 16?
No. No.
Alright, your AC is 17, right?
No, my DC is 17.
Alright, then only the first one hits you for only 7 damage as this spectral arrow falls inside of you there. But that ends their turn, taking us back to Fiera.
Boy. I assume we're still trying to run. Oh, that got tricky. I feel like Wall of Force, they might just drift through. Kind of worried about. So I can't use that. They have bows. Do only those bigger guy commanders have the bows? Or do all of them have bows?
They all seem to have bows.
Oh my god. Play. Do I just use a gigantic spell and pray for the He's 5 feet away. I don't know. The summon thing. I don't know. Okay, I'll just pray. So this pink guy,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to disintegrate him.
Wow.
So I just turn around on Izarel, seeing that he is trying to kill me, and I'll fire it off at him. Dex save.
Dex save coming in. Here it comes. An 8. He fails. 77. He
So
takes.
77 force damage as I try to remove his soul from reality.
Yep, you just directly touch his essence, and you can just see that his form kind of almost swells and then explodes one part of it, but it kind of splatters through this kind of ectoplasm almost. It shifts and weaves and then slowly pulls back together as you didn't quite manage to destroy it completely, as it's still holding on.
Oh boy. Okay. Somebody finish that one, please. That's my turn.
Alright, since your turn takes us to Jade. Actually, I can't.
As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Divine Favor, which gives me an extra 1d4 radiant. I didn't mean to actually like cast it or whatever. So all of my attacks do an extra 1d4 radiant.
So that's your aura. You can also see
Yeah.
its aura. So anyone who's inside there gets +5.
So my wolf's gonna try to bite or slam the one in front of us.
The blue one.
Yeah. Spell attack. Boy.
Oh boy, this wolf
Oh my
really
God.
doesn't like them. And once again, just kind of wheels back on this undead form.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna, if I jump down, that's like, what, like half my movement? Is that how much it is?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's just 5 feet of your movement. I don't...
Okay.
Oh, wait, actually, do you have the mounted combatant feat? No, right?
No.
Okay, for some reason I thought you had it. Yeah, then it is half your movement to dismount.
Okay. So then I would get... He's not moving. I'm moving. So I'm just gonna jump up and get next to this one. Or jump off and get up to that one. And I'm going to try to hit them. Would it be flanked because of Izarel?
Yes, it would be. Oh, wait.
Exemptions.
But Isra is being flanked, so she can't give flanking if she's being flanked. It cancels each other out. Wow, 24. Oh, actually, what's the first one of that?
That was...
A 2, the other one.
Yeah, so
it was a 13 and a 2.
Yeah, so 13 is the first one.
13 was the... Yeah.
So we take the 13, so still 24. That it's...
Plus my D4. So that's the first attack.
Yeah.
And then the second attack.
18 hits.
And then my D4.
Nice. Anything else?
I'm gonna stay where I'm at, but I'm gonna yell out, I think we need to take care of the special ones. Like the pink one and the yellow one. That is my guess, that I think we have to take those out because the pink one summoned the other ones.
That's it?
That is it.
Alright. Takes us to Eirik.
Okay. So, being on top of the horse, if I were to fly up with my boots, does that provoke opportunity attacks?
Yes.
Yeah? Even though I'm... Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I also just noticed, Isra, while you're in beast form, your AC is 16, not 17.
Oh.
Yeah. But just keep that in mind next time. All good.
Is it 16? I thought it was if my AC was lower, it was up to 16.
Now, if the AC of the beast form would have been lower. You don't take your humanoids. You compare your beast form AC, which is the math of that is 13 plus your wisdom modifier is your beast AC. Unless the beast has a higher AC than that.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
I must have misread it.
Anyways, Eric?
Yeah, so I'm gonna use my bonus action Misty Step feature and get myself over to the rock.
Yes.
And from there, I am going to I'm gonna go Scorching Ray at 3rd level, so I'm gonna fire 4 rays. 2 of them at the pink one and 2 of them at the yellow one.
All right.
So first one
Yeah, 28 definitely hits.
plus, this is gonna take a minute, plus a d8. So that's the first one. Second one. Yes.
Wow.
Plus a d8. Okay. Third one at the yellow one.
Alright, well, as you do that, you can see as the second Scorching Ray bolts through that one, it disperses its form entirely. You can see the scraps of it trying to pull itself together, but as it isn't able to do so, you can see it fly. And with your passive perception, you definitely make it out. And they kind of coalesce and move behind this rock. You can see all of the ectoplasm, spiritual form kind of just get sucked into that rock.
Fascinating.
What is happening here?
So that's the first hit on the yellow.
It doesn't hit, unfortunately, a 15.
Yeah. That's... And then fourth ray.
21 does hit.
Ew.
Oh, half. Or is at least half. So that is
Yeah.
6, 9. It would be 9 plus
Max
6.
damage is is 2d6 plus
4, which
a
is
d.
so a minimum of 10 is what you can do on that. So it's a 16
Yeah.
in total that you do. Very nice, and it does impact it with its shape. So more than enough energy to keep itself alive.
And seeing the stuff go into the stone down below me there, or the other boulder, I'm gonna fly myself 20 feet up in the air above that stone that I'm standing on.
All right.
Remember that pose?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd rather not get sucked into a boulder somehow.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. Then that should take us to the normal race turn. These will, I'll say, 2 of them will attack you, Fiera. 2 of them will attack you, Icewell. And then the rest I shall move. I'll go here. This one will obviously ignore your bonfire and go here. This one should also go here. And go here. So I will say 3 will shoot at you, Eirik. 1 will attack you, Jade. Okay, you know what? I will just do it 1 by 1, and this will take way too long if I do it like that. So 1 on your dire wolf, coming right up. By 17, I believe hits
That'll
it.
hit.
So your dire wolf takes 18 damage.
He dies.
Okay, so we
Nope. Goodbye,
It's on
Gus.
the way. And so it will then move here. But no flanking, because a flank creature can't give flank, and it is currently being flanked. but it will use its bonus action to attack you again with its longsword. But a 14 misses. And then we will have 2 attacks against you. Oh, actually, no. The one... another 2 attacks against you, Jade. So here's the first one. Was a 18, I believe, misses.
Correct.
And a 12 also misses. So you're just kind of fighting these 2 ways, kind of swinging. But you kind of predict the incorporeal movements and block the sword attacks. And 2 attacks against you, Isorel, with advantage. Since you're being flanked by the sides, and actually, to make it fair, it is going to move there. You get an attack of opportunity, Fiera, if you wish to use it.
Isn't the pink one?
Oh, yeah,
done?
yeah, you're right. No, you can't do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Then, no advantage. Just one normal
The pink
attack.
one's gone.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
That we yeah,
Yeah.
his soul.
I apologize. He is gone.
There we go.
Oops.
Okay.
And they don't leave anything behind since this weird liquid it's made out of got sucked in.
Great marker.
Yeah. So 1 attack against Isorel was an 18, that does hit.
Yep.
And then another one was a 24, that also hits.
Yep.
So you take a total of, that's 19, 25, 30 damage.
30?
Yes, a total of 30. But am I crazy? So was my last one. That's
No, you're good.
19
You're
plus
good.
13
You're
is
good.
30.
I
Yep.
was just like my math was not mathing.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Yep.
And then 2 of them will attack you, Fiera. While you're on the
Okay.
horse. This is the first one. The 13 will miss.
Mage armor, thank you.
18 will hit.
Do I want to do that? I will let that hit me.
Alright. So you take 18 damage.
Okay. 17 damage, right?
Hey, 17, sorry. Yeah.
I need that health.
Yeah.
1 HP can make a difference, as we've seen
Mhm.
previously
Yeah.
with me that survived with 1 HP.
Hmm. So the other one that's next to you will attack you also 2 times. Natural 20.
Ooh.
Me?
Yeah.
That will hurt. Do you use inspiration to give disadvantage, or how does that work?
I
Not after the fact, I'm guessing.
I usually only allow inspiration for like rolls you do, and not other rolls, unfortunately.
Okay, I'll chrono shift then. How about
Okay.
that?
Yes, that's totally fair. So just re-roll, correct?
Yep.
Yep. 22.
Well, it's not crit. That's fine.
Yeah, that does heavily reduce it, so that's a 20 damage instead.
Ow. Oh, okay.
And then that will then, and that's on barrage of attacks on you. And then there will be 1 longbow, actually another 2 longbow attacks against you, Jade. So this one's on you. Natural 1, completely whiffs and misses. Second one, 24 does hit you, unless you want to do something, Jade.
Let's see. I don't think my shield will give me enough.
Yeah, no, it's only +5, unfortunately.
No, so it'll hit.
So you take 14. Oh no, 8
I'm
plus 3,
resistant.
so only 11.
And then in reaction, I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke.
All right, it will make a dex save, which it fails, so it does take 8. It was the orange one, by the way. So this one. You can see as you rebuke with this innate fire inside of you, you can see it almost disperses its form entirely, but it's still hanging on by a thread. Okay, and then the red one here, there will be now 3 of them will attack you, Eirik, while you're flying. So that's 6 attacks in total. These are the first one. A 14 will miss. A 12 will miss. A natural 20 will hit. So that is well, the rules is max damage plus 1 roll. So that's would have been 8 plus 6 is 14 plus 16. So that's actually 30 damage. As the crit hits you and it just kind of goes inside between your armor plates and just pierces right into your rib cage. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the last 2 going your way. Well, a 10 will miss you, and a 16 will miss you. And the very last one is the red one there, and it will probably just... You know what? Seeing that Eirik is still flying there, probably will just also shoot at you instead of Fiera. A 15 will miss, but a 25 will hit. So you take another 9 points of damage there. Ending their turn, taking us now to Isorel.
They're considered undead, right?
Yup.
You see the crescent moon shape glow on Isorel's horse chest, as I will, for the first time, channel divinity, turn undead. So everybody here is now scared and running for their lives.
Well, they have to make a saving throw, right?
Yes, DC Wisdom 16.
Okay, 16 wisdom. The wisdom
Here
isn't
you
great.
go, hold on. There.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, Wisdom 16.
Oh,
Yeah.
please work.
However, they do have advantage because of the commander, as he is defiant and turning. However, their wisdom is really bad, so can't balance
As we've learned.
each other out. So from left to right, we're gonna start. That makes it. And then from top to bottom, makes it. Fails.
Oh,
I will also mark them as I go, otherwise I will definitely forget.
Yep.
The blue... Wait, hold on. Actually, the commander there is dead, so the only ones who would have had
Yep.
advantage...
Are these 3 at the bottom there?
Yes. And this one. So these
Okay.
4. Right? Within 30 feet? Yes, so actually, I take that back. Well, the natural 20 would have saved anyways, but the first
Yeah,
one
the
would have
natural-
failed.
Yeah.
So the first one would have failed, definitely.
Blue one would have failed as well.
Exactly, so now with the blue one again, another blue one. Straight
Yep.
roll. Wow!
Could they not?
the green one.
Okay. Okay.
okay, Jack. Okay. Okay.
Oh, they have terrible wisdom. It'll be fine.
They have a -1 to their wisdom save.
3 crits. Just casual.
Oh.
These are not attacks on us, I guess.
Oh,
but still.
what the fuck? Well, there's still... Wait. How many steps? There was all, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then the red one has advantage. That fails. Even with
okay.
advantage. And then another 3 all with advantage. Fail.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. Well, that one also fails.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's so many crits.
Okay, so the bottom orange and the bottom green are both
Yes.
scared.
The red one too, right? Yes, the red one too, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
Tornado is
Wow.
just they have to get away from you, correct?
Yes, they have to run away from me. Hold on. They have the frightened and incapacitated condition.
Oh, okay, yeah, so they can't take any actions.
Yes. Yeah. And for that duration, it tries to move as far from you as it can on its turn. This effect ends early if the creature takes damage. So please do not attack the ones that are frightened.
Alright.
Just mark this down. So that was my action.
Yeah, when you think about moving, I don't want to be a pincushion anymore.
Yep. With Fiera, I'll just say, hold on, and I'll bolt out of here.
Okay.
And I'll try to position myself in a way that all three of the Wraith would have to attack me instead of going for Fiera.
Alright.
Basically, I'm trying to protect her. Like, I'll just, graze all of them as I go to make sure that, like, they have to punch me instead of Fiera.
Yeah, they will indeed. They seem to be hitting on the movement target first. So 3 attacks against you.
Yes.
That's an 11. That will miss.
Nope.
A 19 will hit.
Yes.
Take 18 damage there.
Okay.
And then last one, a 12 also miss.
Yes.
Nice. Good job.
What level
You can
cleric
see-
are you?
4.
Doesn't say 5th level has the destroy undead. If
Yeah.
they fail their save.
Yeah.
Or if they
Yeah.
succeed on their save.
It's coming. I'm trying to get there. Yeah. Okay. So I have. Yeah, and I'll just finish my movement to like get around the rock, kind of, and leave some field of view for Fiera, but get away enough that I am somewhat safe for now. And you can hear the horse being like.
Yep.
It is.
The horse
That's
is
good turn.
hurting. The horse is hurting.
It neighs.
I'm
This
fine,
time
but
you
I'm
abandoned Jade with all of them.
Well, 2 of them are gonna run away, presumably.
Yeah.
They are
turn.
very scared right now. They all need to run.
Okay. Then I presume that ends your turn, correct?
Yes, that's all I can do for now.
Then it shall take us to the commander. I shall roll 1d6.
Oh,
A 5. Eric, you're the only one who can like actually see this, but you see the place where you saw the one commander go towards in that stone. You can see like flickering of blue light. You can see in front of it corporealing itself again. It's the shape of the form that you dispersed with your fire.
okay, we gotta run.
Returning back.
We gotta run.
Everybody just head north.
Yep.
I think is the way to go.
But it can't do anything on its turn, so it won't. This one will move 30 feet here, and
Run away.
this time it will summon its banner. Roll 1d4 to see how many he gets. Wow.
Is that a spell?
It is not a spell.
Okay.
It
That
is
does.
a ability it can do.
It's a weird wraith thing.
Yeah, it is
Oh,
a
you
weird.
got 3.
Well, +1, so he gets 4, which within 30 feet of himself. What's the maximum range? Yeah. Well, you know, Jade, you're the only one there, so I'm sorry. He will place.
Eric's there.
Well, he's 20 feet up in the air. So you will have
20 feet above the boulder. So
Yeah, so even more. So this one isn't frightened. Just
Oh
copy-
man.
oh my god.
It's fine.
This is terrifying.
And
What does Jade have up her sleeve?
it will use its bonus action to still make one attack, and it will do so against. You know what? Let's be fair here. It will make it against Eirik since he's floating there. So he will shoot towards you. An 18, he misses though. Passes by, not being able to strike your form. Now bring us to Fiera.
Okay, I'm just gonna trust that Jade can somehow get out of there, and I'm gonna focus on Israel because she's been taking hits. You're willing, right, Israel? Yeah,
I'm always
sure it's
willing.
fine. So while I'm riding the horse, in front of you, a very similar gateway to teleport appears and starts sucking us up as I cast Dimension Door, and I'm gonna bring us to
You can get out of the map
off the
if you
map,
want.
north.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just go off the map.
Okay.
We're out of here. Beyond gone.
So you cannot interact anymore. Well, you're also 500 feet away, so yeah, you literally can't.
Hide.
So, adios. You shall not see what is going to happen. And that will then take us to Jade. What is your course of action as you see your friends disappear?
Hold on, let me. Okay. I have.
Oh yeah, Ice is still there, I forgot.
Yeah, I deleted the high swirl,
Okay.
but for some reason I can still see the battlefield.
I mean, that's good. I guess that's okay. Oh yeah, because no dynamic typing's on, so that's fine. You can witness what's happening.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So for some reason
Please.
it didn't delete it out of the one turn order. Ah, now it did. So Jade, your turn.
Please, Misty, step away and run. Please. Well, Misty, Shadow, whatever you call.
How would Jade respond to this?
By leaving.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. Jade's gonna yell to Eirik, go, don't look back. And then I'm going to activate my sword spell
Okay.
with a charge.
Oh, okay.
As my shadows just start to come around me. I don't know how that works because I'm super flanked.
Yeah, they don't get the they don't get advantage from flanking. Okay. Anything else you would like to do?
So that's my action.
Yep.
And I can't move. As a bonus action, nope. I just scream at Eirik to go. Don't look back. I'll be fine.
What?
Go.
Okay, dang. Yes, then. And the turn takes us to Eirik.
Alright. I'm just gonna start floating towards the edge of the map. And I'm gonna are you sure?
Go.
Okay. I'll just use my action to get off the map.
Okay.
This is terrifying. This reminds me of how Arya died so many times. Like just
Yeah.
But it's very much what Jade would do. She'd want all of her friends to leave first if we were surrounded.
I guess so. So, okay, are you out of the map, Eric, then?
Yeah, I'm gone.
Okay. Gone. Eric's gone. Taking us to the sword race. Well, if we will start with the ones that are... Turn undead? Well, since Iceland's not dead. They still?
So goes.
Yeah, it's a minute, right?
So goes. Yep, it's a minute.
So I guess I'll just start walking there. So this one will go. You get an attack of opportunity if you want it, Jade.
Nope, it's running away. Israel said don't touch the ones that are running away.
Yeah, this one will also start here. This one will start running this way.
Jade is actually listening to Israel.
This one will also be 60 feet.
After you say run and I stay.
Well, I mean, you're listening to part of the message.
Alright, that's it. This one will kind of move all the way here. This one will move all the way here. This one will move all the way here. This one will move all the way... I can't. What's that?
Oh my god.
Just surrounding you there. That's all of them. Others are running away. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. Oh, no, wait, this one doesn't move. That's the commander. They look so similar. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, then this one would go here. Yeah. So it is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 attacks on you, Jade.
Okay, well, the first one that's attacking me, I'm imposing disadvantage.
Alright. Disadvantage indeed. It will go with this longsword. 14 doesn't hit.
So I get to, based on that, I get an attack, right?
Yes, exactly.
And my extra D4 is still going.
Yep. Wow. Wow. That's an extra 20 that you like to see. So we just take max damage and then whatever you rolled. So that's a D12, so that's 12 plus 6, that's 18. Well, you almost rolled max there. 1, so that's 18 plus 7 is 25. 25 plus 7 is 32. Do you want to add a... Oh, you can't add a smite. Yeah, okay.
Nope.
32. Wow. Almost insta-kills it, but not quite. So just blast back with one hefty swoop there. That was its first attack. It will make another one. What was it?
Still misses.
17. Does it...
Because my AC goes up by 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So it just whiffs
I'm at
completely.
a 21 right now.
Yeah. So that was the top left. And then we will just go clockwise. That misses. That hits. I have to keep track. So you take 15 points of damage.
How many more have left to hit me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so before I calculate that, so 6 plus 9.
It's 15.
6, 15, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to impose disadvantage on the next one.
Alright, that's the top right corner. A 9 misses.
So I get my attack.
Yeah. 18 hits.
And then on the next one that tries to hit me, I'm going to impose disadvantage again.
Wow, he has multi-attack, so he will attack you a second time. And you have your D4 radiant damage, don't forget that. Your D4? Okay, 30. So, you slash him, he will attack you again. Snake. Wait, hold on. You can only do that... You can only do that up to 2 times. Impose disadvantage and attack them.
Okay. That's fine.
But an 8
still gonna miss.
will miss you. Okay, so now the blue one on the left. 2 attacks from his side.
Oh, okay, this one.
Yep. That misses the first. Second one hits with a 23. So you take 13 points of damage. Those were 2 of his attacks, right? Already. Yeah.
Yep.
So now the green one. Unos misses. 18 misses. Now the green one on the bottom left. Misses. Misses. And then the red one. Misses.
Thank you for the shadows.
Misses. So we just see Jade surrounded by these wraiths with shields and swords, just kind of trying to slash at her. But she kind of goes into this very martial stance. You can see that her own shadow kind of takes up more of the space than the wraiths themselves. And on occasion, when one of the wraiths is swinging while she can't see her, a shadow version of herself comes out of the shadow and just deflects the attack while she's not paying attention there. Kind of fighting 2 of her versions, keeping back to back, making sure that the enemies around her aren't getting an advantage while she's combating all of them and just single-handedly taking most of them on. There's still one with his bow he will shoot. A 17 will miss. And a 12 will miss. So that ends their turn. And will bring us to the commander. We will kind of jump onto this rock, we'll climb onto it and start also attempting to pound you. With his attacks, he can make 3 attacks. And those 3 attacks he shall do. A 24 will hit. So you take 11 damage for his first attack. His second one, 17 will miss, and his third one was a 20 will barely miss you as you're kind of getting tired, like swinging your great axe around trying to defend. You're getting bruises everywhere, but in the last moment you can see once again your shadow just manages to bring its shield in front of you before it can bash down on you, and it's your turn again. What do you do?
Oh god.
Please get the fuck away from here.
Oh, I'm getting out of there. Don't worry. Now that everybody's gone, Jade will run. So I'm gonna use my Blessing of the Raven Queen to bounce. So that's gonna be right there. And then I'm gonna use my movement to...
Yes, get out of there. As you escape from the field, running away, and you just can hear the ghastly voices of these wraiths behind you. You can see more of them popping out of these weird stones, and the luminescent blue light kind of illuminating parts of the stone. And it's a weird sensation. All ghost stories you've ever heard are like in the dark, kind of haunting you. You're still within broad daylight, and they're just kind of popping out of the ground everywhere while you try to catch up with your friends. Fiera and Isra are like 500 feet away, so you are very far. But I would say, just for the the purpose of this, Isra, not Isra, Eirik, you kind of running, but as you look back, you can see Jade kind of sprinting, not too far from you. You've managed to get like a couple 100 feet away from the scene. You can still see like a small horde that has gathered there that Jade fought. But you guys are in a full sprint, definitely faster. And they seem to not be able to leave too far from wherever they've kind of spawned out of. They seem to be tied to one point. And it takes like probably about 10 minutes or so until you find the rest of your troop, Fiera and Iserel and Horseform, heavily injured and slashed at the end of that.
Yeah. What were those?
That was a really cool use of that spell, by the way, Jack.
That's what it's made for. Though you probably would have to do like 3 concentration checks during that, but next time.
Oh, was it concentration?
Yeah, it's concentration.
That kind of makes sense. Okay, we need to find somewhere to rest quickly.
Owie. Owie.
Yeah, I'll pat Azrael. For Iric, you're flying. Can you look around quick? Or Jade, can you find a nook or cranny?
As they start walking, I'll just walk around as a horse and just cure wounds myself a little bit.
I can find a nook and cranny by just throwing up a rope trick and getting us up into a little pocket.
Yeah, something to take a quick break with.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, please get off me so I can turn.
I'm off and I'm ready to climb you up and in.
How are people on health-wise? Because if we're gonna take a short rest, I want to use these 3rd level spell slots that I get back.
I'm down below half.
I have 25 health point right now.
Okay, so I'll cast a 3rd level on Izero.
Thank you.
Do you need more? I can do another 3rd level on you.
Yes, I'm at half now.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Wow. 2020.
And you can use the rest on Iric.
And then, I don't have any more 3rd level spells, but, I'm gonna use 20 of my Lay of Hands pool on Iric. And then I'm gonna use 20 on myself.
Alright.
Alright, I'll get up the rope. Doop, 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 doop.
I totally forgot about Glamour. Why don't you keep watch while we're inside?
Sure.
If anything happens, just climb the rope and let us know. You can climb the rope, right?
Yeah, of course. I got these nice claws here.
Do you want me to give you a friend to be with?
Is it ghostly?
No, it could be a wolf.
I mean, sure. I wouldn't mind.
And that way... So I'll cast another dire wolf. Yeah.
Okay. Very well. Well, do you still have spell slots left? Because then you use them all for healing?
Yes. I have... My Find Steed is a 2nd level spell, so it doesn't count as my pact spells.
Ah, okay, I understand. It's used to paladin spells.
And this time I'm going to...
Make one that's not afraid of ghosts.
Yeah. I'll give it Fae in order to give it the Fae step ability.
Alright. Manifest and Climber kind of jumps on top of it. And just kind of stays out of the rope trick, obviously, to kind of just look around the surrounding area.
And then I'll tell Glamour, that it can talk to me telepathically. So if you don't want to talk, it will tell me.
Alright, well, I ain't going too far. I'll just stay right below you. Can you hear
Around,
me?
right? Just
Yeah, can you hear me when you're like in that hole? Hello?
Oh,
Excuse me?
Just look out the hole, be like, shut up.
Oh, okay. I guess it works. So yeah, I'll be sitting on this rock right here.
Yeah, it's a
At
good
least you
rock.
have this shadowy looking wolf there with you.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Glamour. What's yours? Ah, I see. I got no idea what he said.
He said his name is Gustulu.
Ah, wonderful name. But Charnish, but I'll make do. Solo and Glamour will be the best duo that this plane has ever seen. Now,
Oh,
let
I
me
believe
tell you about the spider that weaves web and can make silk, with which it makes 8-leg pullovers. And then he starts talking about some weird story. And you're like, what the fuck? But yeah, you spend your time within the rope trick. I believe that's not a concentration spell, right? That's just a...
It's just a thing.
Yes, okay. Then you can definitely use that to do a short rest.
short rest.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be seeing ghosts already. We're not even at the tree. I guess, could we tell what race they used to be? Did they look like elves?
Why did it do that?
That'd be like a history check or something? Or a nature check? Or a nature check? Or
Well, I'll say, well, none of you really did
Okay.
a thorough check while you were
No.
fighting them. So, I'll say, yeah, just make a history check, I guess, to see how much you remember.
Sure. A little bit.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know why it decided to do it one by one. I'm very sorry about that, by the way.
That's okay. Just filling up the rolls here.
Yeah.
And don't remember, if you don't have any
Yep.
hitters left, you can't short rest anymore. Just as a casual warning.
I'm gonna do one more. Oh,
I'm all good. I'm almost at full. I'm
Well,
missing like 2 points, so
I'm gonna
I'm
get full.
totally fine.
That's probably a good idea. Okay, back to full.
All
No,
right.
activate my deck.
So, Fiera, trying to remember, and you were like up close with many of these, and it is, or it was a bit difficult to see what they were, since the form was like always heavily shifting, and they were kind of like phasing in and out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the strangest thing is, they seemed for the most part humanoidish. So they definitely had like normal human-like features. Though one thing that caught you off guard is the commanders, which you didn't notice prior, is they had like sort of halos over their heads. And when they were like kind of, when the one was like brandishing its flag, you could swear, and you aren't sure if you kind of misseen it. That was like a symbol that heavily reminded you of the Holy Religios one. And when it had its arms kind of pulled out, it had like almost like feathered arms. It had like feathers to its sides. And with 29, that there's some celestial races known as Asamar that are believed to have some blood of the divine inside of them. And that's your best get, that at least the commander seemed to have taken Asamar form.
Oh. I can tell you that. Okay. I'll just keep that to myself. So they had to be old, I'm guessing. Very old, ancient. I mean, are there ASMRs in like the Lichness Kingdom?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Kingdom.
That's the higher clergy are seen as ASMR, and the archbishop are like chosen diviners. So you assume that there probably are ASMR.
But they're like rare, right? Like
Yeah. The ASMR are definitely rare, especially nowadays.
yeah, okay.
But you know that
Interesting.
it's said that the warriors of the angelic legions back in the days who fought in angelic war were mainly made out of humans and ASMR. And ASMR were the ones that were the commanders back in the day that started the war.
Back in okay, that's
Well, back in the day, as in like it's not ancient. It definitely doesn't go back to first sinner stuff. That's super ancient.
mm-hmm.
This is reminds you more of angelic war, old, which is only quotation marks couple of thousand years, not tens of thousands of years.
Well, that's still what I was thinking. Okay, it's ancient for me still, as a human of 30. Well, I guess mental age 40 something.
Yeah.
Physical age 30 something. Okay. Ancient Lich, yes. Okay. Well, I'm rested up. I think I got some spell slots back. I didn't get my big spell slots back, but I can't do anything about that.
Do we have time for me to attune to an item?
There's a short rest.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a whole hour up in Rope Trick if we need it.
Yeah, because I wanted to unattune from the Cloak of Protection and attune to the Pearl of Power.
So I'm guessing our plan tonight is stay in the tower, or do we want to find somewhere else? I guess we have to see what we find at the tree first.
If we get to it.
Do I know like any like histories of this tree before we fully dedicate to going to it?
Yeah, you can make it a check.
I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Oh.
You've heard about it when you were smaller, but you weren't educated or lectured about it in any way, shape, or form, so you don't know much. It's an area that it's kind of like a graveyard or a gravesite. There are many unique spots within the Servalon Great Woods, many ruins, way more than what is on your map right now. Like, it's covered in things, but many of the things are either old or just haven't been properly explored yet, just because of the innate danger of traveling within the Servalon Great Woods. But it's definitely one of the more known landmarks because it does cover a rather wide area. I mean, in the map itself, you can kind of measure how long the distance approximately is that gets covered by this, kind of desolate landscape. It's like 50 miles across, and so that is, a lot of spooky stories come from there. Like, if you go there, you'll be haunted, or you get cursed if you leave it, and stuff like that. The typical stuff, but nothing that is that stands out to you that was memorable. There are enough spooky and scary and legendary stories about the insides of the ravine that you didn't much care about what was on the outside, since you didn't spend any time there anyways.
So I'll just be like, hey, Israel, do you believe in curses?
Yes, why?
Well, I was told this story about a tree. If you go visit it and then you try to leave, you're cursed. Just to let you know. I know it's probably not going to deter you from going to go see this tree, but... And I don't... myths and stories, they're based on facts, right?
I mean, it's enough to tell me that maybe we want to steer clear from that tree and go directly for the ravine.
I mean, we fought curses before.
Let's just try to not fight things that we can actually avoid.
Yes, we've learned that run from books. Do not try to kill each and every one.
If we know to not go somewhere, let's just not go there.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go there. I'm just saying, it's a story that I was told.
I don't want to risk it right now.
Like, how far are we from said tree now after the travel?
You're pretty close actually. Like you were initially 5 miles, but you traveled quite a distance before, you got interrupted, so you max a mile away, and it's definitely quite
I may be
visible.
able to look at it here. Oh boy, I haven't used this spell yet. Hold on. Clairvoyance. Range is 1 mile. Okay. Before anything, here, just 15 minutes. I need another short rest. Do what you're gonna do. I gotta swap spells. Spend the dice. Let's start preparing clairvoyance. What am I get rid of? Can't teleport. Don't need that. Okay. Boom. Clairvoyance. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, can I see the tree from here?
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes. Very clearly.
Okay. Oh god, my class feature is really confusing for this. When I cast a spell using a 4th level or lower, I can condense it, integrate. Okay. Wonderful. So I'm gonna start casting clairvoyance, and when it finishes, I do that thing I've done before, where I freeze it in time, and I give it to Heuser. And I also give you a piece of glass. Just focus on the bead, on the tree, and you can look through the glass. And I think you can hear through it as well. Does that make sense?
And I'm supposed to do what with this?
That's gonna. Well, you've scried before. This is like
Yes.
a shorter range scry. Just focus on the
Okay.
bead and the tree.
I'll start focusing on the bead and the tree. And the glass. And look through it.
All right.
I tried to cut it for clairvoyance.
Okay, clairvoyance. It is. And, well, I saw you kind of follow vaguely Fier's instructions to kind of cast a spell. Oh, you can choose seeing or hearing.
I think you can switch.
Oh. Well, when you cast a spell, choose seeing or hearing, you can use the chosen
Yeah, as a
sense.
bonus action, you can switch.
Okay. Right.
Yep.
Can you move it? No, right?
No.
No, it's wherever she focuses on.
So I'll start with seeing to
Alright.
kind of get ahead around what's going on around there.
Okay, then, well, the question.
It's basically a spyglass.
Yeah. It kind of is, yeah. Like, the placement is now kind of important. Do you want to do it just immediately next to the tree because you can't reach it with a 1 mile reach?
No, I would try to be like maybe 100 feet from the tree so that I can see the tree, but also a little bit around, like surrounding it a little. Like I want to be close, but not like right up to it that I can't see like what's going on around. So, like enough that I can see a little bit like what's going on around it. if there's something moving around or coming in or out of the field of view, basically.
All
It's
right.
like maybe like 100 feet away.
Yeah. Okay, and just
Ish.
to give you guys perspective, now being 1 mile away from the tree, you can see the base of it. Like there's so many large rocks that, disturb your vision on seeing the ground fully where it connects there. But you can see like these large gnarled roots that seem to be, fanging the floor beneath it and, kind of grappling it, when you can see these large, almost like tendrils that emanate from the base of the tree trunk itself. But it's still very dark. Definitely gives the vibe of like it was burned or scorched or something like that. And once again, you can see these big, large fissures of just very sharp pointed bark, as if truly the tree is broken off, and you can just see the splinters remaining there. And they almost remind you of like jagged claws or even like a teeth that come out from the top of this tree. And the tree itself is about 500 feet wide, and then it goes about probably 700 to 800 feet tall. So, like I said, it is a rather large tree. So you just place your sensor 100 feet away, then you can make a perception check to see if you see anything.
Can I give myself guidance in this case?
Fortunately not, because
Or am I... No, because I'm
guidance-
focusing on something.
yeah,
I can give you guidance.
yes, that would work.
Okay, cool.
You remembered your own guidance.
I remembered my own guidance.
Wow, a 7.
Yeah.
You look through the sensor, and you get basically the same view that you already have, just a bit closer. You see this dark tree. The only thing you see more and better than, your crew right now is like the base of where the roots of the tree kind of submerge underground. But there's nothing of note there particularly that would invoke any sort of interest. And as you kind of just, looking around left to right, it's a big ass tree that seems to be burnt.
I will switch to hearing and see if I can hear better than I see.
Alright, then make another perception check as you can switching your senses.
Guidance.
Thank you.
Was a 10. You hear the howling wind. Occasionally, still, you hear these very soft whispers and murmurs that seem to carry on the wind. But they kind of always fade away and re-emerge, just like a wave. And then the wind and the whispers. There's not much else you can discern.
You can see me being like concentrating on this.
Don't hurt
I'll try to
yourself.
I'll try to switch. I'll as I'm trying to hear and seeing like that it's not working, I'll take a deep breath. Try to think of it as if I was trying to see another one of those trees that I communicate with. Try to get into a better headspace. Breathe. And then switch back once again to my vision. But before I open my eyes, I'll like try to try to invoke, I guess, or like channel a little bit Servalon and try to see like if I can tap into my connection with trees to kind of focus a little bit better and try to recenter myself on I know how this works. I know how I know trees. And I'll switch back to my vision.
All right, yes, so you know trees. I'll allow it. Make another perception check.
Guidance.
If I swear to God, if I get less than a 10 again, I'm going to scream.
Watch you get a 10.
What'd you get?
Hey!
There we go.
Add your D4.
It's
Wow,
coming. It's there.
1 to 1. That's still
1, 1, 1, 1.
it's really impressive.
Remember the tree stuff.
Yes, remember tree stuff. Probably you were like too focused on the environment and seeing anything at the tree.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you didn't see much, but now that you're focusing on the tree itself, you know, kind of trying to ascertain the vibe and see whether or not it might be one of the long lost relatives of, you know, the trees you have met so far. Maybe it's also a quote unquote son of Servalon. So you're, you know, investing more time to see any similarities. This is a big ass tree, and it's
Huge.
bigger than, you know, the sons of Servalon that you have met so far.
What the hell just happened? I'm sorry, my phone just turned on and took a picture by itself.
Weird.
creepy.
I'm not even joking. It turned on and took a picture. I have no idea what just happened. I'm
Whoa.
so sorry.
I mean, it emphasizes the creepiness that is occurring here, because you do see something strange. Not only is this tree larger than, you know, your trees that you're kind of sticking out of, the bark itself seems also a bit weirdly shaped as you're kind of trying to look at the texture. Because while it may be burnt, maybe you can like still try and see what type of tree it was. Like, is it an oak? Is it birch? Is it something else entirely? And as you're, you know, investigating the bark once again, the way it kind of like twists and shapes and kind of shifts reminds you a bit of the tree you saw in Hell, and the way it kind of twisted on itself, Yeglava. But as you're looking at the texture itself, you can see like tiny branches emerging from it, like very small ones that seem to be littered all around it. That gives it this very weird texture. And occasionally you can see like these holes a tree has where, you know, typically an owl would have their nest inside. But bit by bit, just looking at it at a bigger picture, you're noticing there's just these gargantuan faces on the outside of this tree, with hollowed eyes, a weirdly shaped nose, and a big mouth with no teeth inside of them. And the faces are like 5 feet big, that just scrape and seem to be stretched around this tree. And as you're like looking at it, occasionally you think you can see one of these mouths moves, and when you do so, you hear this dissonant whisper, as if the tree itself is the one producing the calls you've been hearing this entire time. As you kind of notice that, your eyes immediately dart to the top of the tree, where you just see a figure standing there, but made out of wood, made out of the same dark material as the tree itself. And from its left side, you can see kind of this broken wood-like wing grow out of it. And it just falls down. And then it disappears. And at that moment, as it disappears, you feel a tug on your shoulder. And it kind of breaks the concentration as you look behind you and the figure is just standing there. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
I'm kind of glad we didn't go all the way up there, guys.
Kind of wish we took a long rest.
Well,
Oh boy. A mile away, it sees and found us instantly.
Yes. Looking at the deep dark secrets of the Solar Great Woods. A little explore strip.
Oh man, my freaking phone just taking a random picture just
That's
threw
wild.
me
Yeah,
for a
that's.
loop. That app's like that really like scared the bejesus out of me. I think you all saw it on my face. I was like bewildered.
Yeah.
What in the world? That was spooky.
Yeah, scary shit.
That was
Kind of happening. Well, it's pretty late for us here, guys, so I don't think we have to say much more other than find out who or what this thing is that appeared behind Israel. A black wood one-winged angel. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Anyways, it's goodbye from us, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.